Make sure y'all hit that like. Good morning. Welcome in. Good morning. Good morning. Happy Monday morning. Hello, 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 hello. Welcome in. Make sure y'all hit that like or dislike on your way in. What's up? Happy Monday, everybody. Wakey bakey. Wakey wakey, eggs and bakey. Wakey wakey, smoke and bakey. Good morning, SoFlo. Fixing to snap Juicy Jules. Hello. I like that name. Gladys, Forever Army. Go Bulldogs. Gang, gang. Yep. Hey, Okie. Good morning. Good morning, Mama. Good morning. Hello. So, start of the work week. Already don't feel like working no more. Like, count me out. All right, let's see. Good morning, Vietnam. Just kidding. Yeah, make sure you hit the like. I know I have to keep telling that everybody that because I need to get back in the algorithm. Oh, thank you. You like them? Look at them. They got little flowers around the rims. Let me see if I can get. They're my golden girl glasses. Hold on. Let me see if I can show y'all. Oh, I'm blind as fuck. They got little roses around. Isn't that cute? These are my golden girl glasses. It just is what it is. Oh man. Not gonna work. Yeah, pink roses. Aren't they cute? Okay, anyways, let me take me off solo. How do I? Okay, let me get back to that. Exit solo. Okay. So what's up? What's been going on with y'all before we start the actual coverage of the stream? What's been going on? Hey, pointer lover. Hello. And good morning. Happy Monday. Y'all see my John Wayne cup? It was my Papa's cup. It says, a man's got to do what a man's got to do. That's right. That goes for women too. All right, so let's see. Supposedly, Seth Rogers has decided to work with Katie and Chris Proudfoot, all with the common goal of finding Sebastian, right? Well, that's what we think. That's what he says. I think in this interview. And I had a lot of problems with the way Pascal handled it. I like Pascal, but the drama and the creating the lines between the parents is too much. So we're going to go over that because it's just, yeah, until 40 seconds. Yeah. Yep, that's exactly right. Oh, nice, Forever Army. Lucky you. I need a personal day. Tristan, you're pulling on my phone cord. There you go, buddy. So supposedly it hasn't lasted long. He's already, went back on it and went on a channel and talked, or a channel that was talking shit about Katie. It's like, bruh, can we get it together? You just doing too much. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, Gavel Geek said the other day that I think she said he's up to 30 or 40 interviews. Excuse me? 30 or 40 interviews? Bruh, how are you searching then? How are you searching if you're spending all day, every day doing these interviews? Mm-mm. Listen, that whole area has been searched. Really, truly. So I'm not saying he needs to be out there boots on the ground looking, because at some point, there's not much more you can do except keep an eye out, keep bringing awareness to Sebastian's name, his face. Bro, good morning, Grandma. What you're doing on these panels is not bringing awareness to Sebastian. It's being a hater. A hater of Chris and Katie. That's what it seems like. All right, so let's go into Pascal and let's see what he's got to say.
All right, so at this vigil, of course, Seth is there, family is there, friends are there, volunteers are there, people who are just wanting to be there in solidarity, showing positivity, trying to send vibes to bring Sebastian back home. Allegedly, there was allegedly, surprisingly, Chris Proudfoot shows up to the vigil. No Katie Proudfoot in sight. I want to make that abundantly clear. From my understanding, Katie Proudfoot was not there. But there was a conversation that was being had, allegedly, between Seth and Chris Proudfoot. Now, allegedly, again, rumor has it that there was, at first, a very heated exchange of words between Chris Proudfoot and Seth Rogers. Now, if you see this photo, to me, this looks pretty like a pretty aggressive stance.
I mean, I don't know. Seth is kind of just standing there chilling. I feel like if Chris was being aggressive, Seth would have been stanced up, ready to roll. You know what I'm saying? So, I do think this is Chris leaning in to make it abundantly clear to him, we need to do this for Sebastian together. Now, the whole thing is, Chris pulled over there and you'll hear Seth tell this story in a little bit. Chris pulled over there because Seth was having truck trouble or something like that. No, Katie and Chris were not at the vigil. Does that look good? Absolutely not. But at the same time, it doesn't look good. Would you want to go to a vigil where you're being threatened by hundreds and thousands of people? Would you want to go to a public vigil? Like, you would want to because it's your son, right? But would you really take yourself and put yourself in that situation? I don't think so.
Let's keep it real. Very, very, very aggressive stance. He obviously, you could tell he's feeling some type of way. And let's be real. Let's not forget, we don't know. I mean, personally.
Well, according to what Seth says, Chris was not being aggressive at all. So it does look kind of like a aggressive stance, but I don't know. It can look any kind of way, because if it was aggression, now I do think he's in his personal space, but if it was aggression, I feel like Seth would have been more squared up, ready to go, ready to rock and roll. That's not what it looks like to me.
I don't, and I don't know about you guys and I don't know about the internet streets and all that stuff, but I don't know the last time that they've actually physically been in the same place at the same time, both Proudfoot and Seth Rogers. I've yet to hear anything about them being.
Well, thanks to folks like you on these YouTube streets, they haven't been since this all started, because y'all made sure to drive a wedge as far and as deep as you could between these parents.
Physically in the same place at the same time. So I'm sure there's a lot. Okay.
Welcome in. Make sure you hit that like on your way in, babies.
Sure, there's a lot of tension from over the past few weeks, etc., that have transpired because of things that have been.
Yes, we will actually do that right now. Hold on, unsupervised. Excuse me. All right, let's go to unsupervised maniacs. Community. Oh, hell no. Please share. Let me drop this in the chat. Good morning, everybody coming in. Right. That's what I'm saying, Katie. It doesn't, again, I feel like if it was aggression, Seth would be more like ready to rumble, The fact that he's just standing there with his hands in his pockets doesn't lead to aggression for me. Good morning, Leslie. All right, so let's take a look at it. Let's take that comment down. And there's Supervise's community post if y'all want to share that. Unsupervised says, please share. This man from Brothers. Oh, he's from Brothers Underwater Recovery. What? Ronnie is a registered sex offender who was charged in 2012 with 2 charges of predatory sexual assault. She was 15. He claims he was set up and is not guilty. Isn't that what they all say? But he pled guilty. If I wasn't guilty, I ain't pleading guilty. No, period. Point blank. Period. Poo. His full name is Ronnie Dale Wagner, Illinois. Research it for yourself. Know who you are supporting. Sex offenders have no business searching for children. Here's a video to watch. Here, we'll go back to Pascal, but this is super important. So let's watch this video.
Who searches for missing people and helps to clean up river systems.
Brothers Underwater Recovery is a dive team who searches for missing people and helps to clean up river systems.
Hello, everyone. My name is Cooper, and I want to go over some things with you guys that I've typed out. I'm going to go over all these bulleted points. I'm going to read.
I'm going to go make a cup of coffee while he reads this.
All these bulleted points, I don't want to miss them. This is very important information. For those of you that know me, my name is Cooper, and I've been involved in search and rescue, search and recovery for over 18 years now. I began when I was 16 years old. long before YouTube or social media was prevalent. I'm an amputee. Over 14 years ago, I lost my leg. I had to relearn how to walk again. Then I had to learn how to scuba dive. I now to this day have over 900 log dives. I have many certifications as well as underwater investigation, and I'm currently a dive master. I have been involved in a member of a SAR dive team that falls directly under emergency management and their local sheriff's office for over 12 years now. I'm currently serving as a vice president aside as being the role of a SAR diver. I've also have 7 years in the fire service, paid and volunteer. I have a lifelong passion to serve my community with the skills and experiences I have acquired, and I'm honored and proud to be able to provide families in crisis support and hopeful answers. Recent events involving an individual or team have developed around the searching of missing loved ones, and I'm frustrated. I'm sharing my opinions and frustrations around this dive team, or rather content creator. The purpose of creating this video is not to stir up drama, to profit or grow off other channels. I want you to know more than just what you're observing on a platform from one source. There's always going to be more information than what an individual or team wants you to see while hiding the truth. The information I'm sharing with you in this video is firsthand accounts and meant to provide an additional visibility in order for you to make informed decisions on the support you provide. I want to recognize the platforms like YouTube and other social media sources that have made it easy to help spread awareness on missing persons, as well as being the voice of their family members. Because of YouTube, I met and worked with some amazing people and divers and have gained some new skills and experiences. One of my good friends, Sam, who I met long before he joined AWP, encouraged me to start my own channel. I have seen firsthand the passion some of these teams and individuals that truly want to help families.
Yes, we can do better than that. Because, oh, this is a 36-minute video. Oh, my word.
But I've also met some that are providing services while no moral compass and compromising families in duress. These families are experiencing one of the lowest points in their lives and are very vulnerable. One of the individuals that I'm referring to is Ronnie from Brothers Underwater Recovery. At first, I had the impression that he really wanted to help others. When he was on his own, I was under the impression that he didn't click with other divers due to personality conflicts. I felt bad and wanted to support him. I even mailed him a care package to help motivate him to go out and do some good in this world. A year ago in March, myself along with another friend that I have made on this platform, Lee, the Aqua Adventurer, were scheduled to help Ronnie with his March mission. In January of 2023, Lee told me that a subscriber supporter of Ronnie bought him a plane ticket to the States to help Ronnie with his mission searching bodies of water for missing loved ones. Lee was excited for this partnership and experience he would gain and take back to Northern Ireland the process of searching bodies of water. Lee suggested I come out and visit with him and Ronnie while he was in the States. I proceeded to reach out to Ronnie since he was in charge to offer my services as a SAR diver since I have training and experience. We talked briefly from time to time as I was trying to learn more about the mission and more about Ronnie, which was very little to nothing. At that point in time, I learned that the only name that Ronnie prefers to go by is his first name. I was under the impression when I later learned that his last name was Wagner, W-A-G-N-E-R. As the March mission details firmed up, there was going to be like at least 4 divers, including Trey from Narc Divers. I agreed to a live stream on my channel introducing the March mission for Ronnie so he could raise money to go out and help these families. I proceeded to request the time off from work and purchased plane tickets for myself. The very evening after the live stream took place on my channel, I received a Facebook message, then call from a viewer acquaintance in Florida, warning me about Ronnie. He asked me if I knew Ronnie's full name, and I said yes. He's Ronnie Wagner from Illinois. I did a Google search and found nothing. He had also added me on social media, but his name on his social media page was his dog, Burr Rex. The other page that he had was Brothers Underwater Recovery. I didn't see his full name on those pages. The viewer from Florida who contacted me said no. His real name is Ronnie Dale Wagoner, spelled Wagoner. My wife and I started searching right away on Google, and instantly the top post was Ronnie's picture and information regarding his criminal past. It turned out that he's a registered sex offender. I instantly felt betrayed and misguided by Ronnie for making me put my name out there to help him with this information that he's been withholding from me. And not only holding it from me, but withholding it from the rest of the volunteers on this mission. It began making sense why he doesn't share his last name with anyone in person. And even a news article recounted that he didn't want to share his last name. He was hiding his past from everyone. I immediately took down the live stream video and contacted Lee that very night and explained why I could no longer go or be associated with Ronnie from Brothers Underwater Recovery. I felt terrible that Lee was stuck going to the mission because a viewer paid for his plane ticket and that I couldn't be there to dive with him and help serve these families. I contacted Ronnie the next day to confront him with the information that was discovered. Ronnie provided additional context and explanations that I won't share, but reiterated he was innocent. It should be known that he actually pled guilty. And in my mind, if you're innocent, you don't plead guilty, no matter what, because you know the truth. I would also state that the very educated and highly trained individuals that investigate these crimes found enough evidence beyond a reasonable doubt that he committed these crimes. I explained to Ronnie why I could no longer support his mission for personal and professional reasons. After that conversation, a few days later, I talked with Jacob from Chaos Divers. I explained that I felt misled for trusting Ronnie and didn't know what to do. Jacob reached out to me and told me to continue flying out there and that he would welcome me to join them in searching for missing persons and helping families. I had great experience working with Chaos Divers and was able to continue networking and building relationships with some highly trained and experienced search and rescue divers. Jacob and Lindsay showed me so much information how to read side scan sonar to further help me on my continued efforts in searching for missing persons back here in my home state. On that trip, I also had the pleasure of meeting another great search and recovery diver. Britton from Depths of History. They all welcomed me on that trip and taught me valuable information and skills that I continue to use helping families. Not only are these individuals highly trained, experienced, but I actually feel safe putting my life in their hands while I'm underwater in zero visibility, muddy waters, diving on submerged vehicles.
Good morning, Deetsy.
They all have received shields, been sworn in, and have been deputized by a sheriff's office for searching bodies of water for missing persons. They are recognized SAR dive team with credibility. Lee is a very good, trustworthy friend. He's a military veteran and a scuba diver from his home country that just wants to go out and help families. The point I'm making is credibility. Myself, along with Chaos Divers, Depths of History, and the Aqua Venture all have credibility. Now, because I proceed to join Chaos Divers around the same time as Ronnie's March mission, some subscribers have noticed. Whether it's from negative comments and lies Ronnie gave them, I can't say to every claim he's made, but I have had people come forward to me and tell me about Ronnie attacking my character and the character of those I choose to work with to serve families. Back then, I chose not to publicize my reasons out of respect for Ronnie's family. However, recent cases and other family members have voiced concerns and allegations of misconduct that have left me irritated and upset for staying silent for over a year now. I'd like to share firsthand testimonies from a couple of other sources.
Okay, so we're going to leave it at that because that's pretty much, I mean, there's more to it. Obviously, it's a 36-minute video. I'm going to drop the link in the chat so that if anyone wants to go watch it, they can. This is insane because, yes, unsupervised maniacs. I think that's who said it. Hold on. He was making money hand over fist live searching for Sebastian. Yes, I remember because him and Narked Divers were both live streaming while hunting for Sebastian Rogers. We don't need no pedophiles searching for kids. Oh my God. Yeah, Deets, that's who told me to show it. So, let me see. Let me boo. My bad. I booted myself. Let's see. I was trying to go back on this one, not the other one. So make sure you share this out. If you go in chats today, make sure you bring it up. If it's a chat about Sebastian Rogers, bring it up. You can tell them to go look at Unsupervised Maniacs community posts. Yes. Yeah, Deets. Yes. I mean, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. So, anyways. All right, now back to the original show. Hold up, swolled up. Let me refresh. Excuse me. Excuse me. I've only got 39 likes and I've got 104 people in here. If y'all don't help a sister out, hello, give me a like or a dislike. Shit, something. Okay, so now we're back to Pascal. He's being his normal, dramatic, emotional self. So let's get through this.
Slinging mud at each other. Okay, the Rogers have been slinging mud at each other at the Proudfoots, and the Proudfoots have been slinging it back.
Yeah, I would say that's correct. The only thing that has been slung back at Seth was Katie Proudfoot responding to the news that Seth put out about Sebastian Rogers being SA'd, and she had every right.
It has been very ugly. Okay. And I understand
Hey,
why.
Nunya.
I mean, just on the side of Seth Rogers' side,
Hey,
I understand
fuck
why
around and
mud
find
was being
out.
flung. Okay, you hit a wall, and then suddenly you can't
Thank
take it
y'all.
anymore. You're lost. You can't figure out what to do anymore. You're by yourself. You're not being helped. You are not sleeping. You're trying to nurse an injury, etc. It's just one thing after another. All these bad things, and then on top of it, still having no clues to give you a solid idea of where the heck your son is. Add all that together. That's a recipe for a very, very disastrous situation, and maybe mindset.
Hold up. I didn't hear him add YouTubers into that whole explanation of why these parents may be feeling aggressive right now. Hello, Pascal. I didn't hear you say YouTubers. Mm-hmm.
But when you have Proudfoots out here and not doing anything, getting in an RV and driving away, staying in Mississippi or doing whatever the hell they're doing, sexy.
And again, you don't know that because you were too focused on Riley Strain. I'm not saying it's a bad thing to be focused on Riley Strain. I'm just saying the focus was whatever was hot in the moment and getting the most attention in the moment. And that was Riley Strain. So did you check Sebastian the first 3 weeks he was missing? No, Pascal, you did not. No, you did not. So you don't know what they did in the first 3 weeks.
Seeing that too. It's not only just us seeing that. That can make somebody feel some type of way. Now, I want to say this too. I'm side-eyeing the Proudfoots like a mug. I'm side-eyeing them like crazy. I want to make that abundantly clear. I am side-eyeing the Proudfoots till they actually show me proof positive they have nothing to do with the disappearance of Sebastian Rogers. I will still have that.
They owe you nothing. The audacity. Where's audacity? The damn audacity to sit here and say, until they show me. They owe you nothing, sir. You are owed nothing.
Till I see absolutely smoking gun evidence.
Guess what? I'm now side-eyeing Pascal like a mother, like a whole mother, grandmother, auntie mother, every kind of mother there is. Absolutely.
That exonerates them. I'm still side-eyeing them until I see proof.
What?
But they came together. They had an exchange, at least in the very beginning. It was very heated. And then the tone changed. And I think it was basically Seth and Chris finally agreeing on, hey, the common denominator here, we need to set aside our differences and we need to focus on trying to find Sebastian. Now, I even said this. I said the same.
Good for them.
Same doggone thing. Okay?
You did. Pascal, I'll give him that. He did say they need to be a united front, but at the same time, he was saying, and this is something Pascal has a real big problem with when he gets too deep into these cases, because he talks out both sides of his motherfucking neck. You were saying that they needed to be a united front while also still driving a wedge with your rumors and speculations every time you talk to Seth. So which is it? United or not? United or not? United or not? Which is it? Hello?
I said the same doggone thing. Now I got to pull it up. I'm going to pull it up.
Pull it up.
because we got a little bit of time.
Pull it
I
up.
gotta find it though.
Yeah, find it.
But I said the same doggone thing.
I'm so mad at Pascal.
On Court TV. Hold on.
Not a plug for him on Court TV.
What the heck is that?
Let me cut my camera off for a minute.
Hold on 1 second. I want to pull this up.
The dynamics of the divorce, everything.
We are not doing no plug for Court TV. No, we are not. No, we are not.
The dynamic.
At the very beginning. This should be a unified front. The unified focus should be trying to find Sebastian.
No
it shouldn't
shit.
be, oh, we're all up in our feels and we feel some type of way and blah, blah, blah. Like, I get it. Trust me.
How fucking dare you, bro? How dare you? It shouldn't be, we're all caught up in our feels, blah, blah, blah. Bro, you are putting shit in Seth's mind every single time he has an interview with you. What the fuck do you mean? Stop the cap. You talk out not only both sides of your neck, but both sides of your motherfucking mouth.
Even with Gabby Petito, that is a blended family as well. You're telling me that they all got along in the very beginning?
Yes.
So they had their fair share of.
They seem to have all gotten along. I mean, why wouldn't they? Jeez.
BS too. Family drama crap, tension and whatnot, because one's been with the other, they made a baby together, they were in a relationship together, and then they parted, those things do happen. There's always going to be tension and opinions and all that when it comes to blended families. But it should be a united front. The Proudfoots and the Rogers extended family, the Proudfoots extended family should be banding together.
Yes, he does. You know what? When he does, you know what I like generally, Jenny? When he does the coverage that he doesn't go too deep on, I like Pascal. It's when he gets carried away, and he does it often on several cases. And I keep trying to give him that chance, just like I did Dolly. Keep trying to give that chance, and he just keeps proving that this is just who he is. This is just who he is. I can't get this thing to go off my computer. Hold on. Okay. Sorry.
Looking for Sebastian. I've been saying this since day freaking one when the drama started. Okay? Once the drama started going on. All right? Now,
you helped start the drama. Listen, we ain't never gonna get through this if I have to keep pausing to call you out on your bullshit.
the thing is that I'm still going to say that. I'm still going to say that. Because at the end of the day, there's reasons why I say it. And I'm explaining in just a second. So they had this fight. They said some things. Then suddenly, one of them, I'm assuming it was Seth, finally said in the conversation, like, we need to set all this BS aside and we need to focus on trying to find Sebastian. We need to band together and we need to try to find Sebastian. And allegedly, they band together. They have finally decided to join forces and look for Sebastian. I got to play this video. It's from Justin on TikTok, because from my understanding, Justin on TikTok is the one that got the video. I've seen it chopped up and all that. And I think people should give credit where credit is due. So I think it's from Justin on TikTok as the original source. I just want to make that abundantly clear. So I'm going to show you guys his TikTok really quick, okay? He's a family member. He's a family friend.
Tonight. So I was asked not to stream the Vigil for Sebastian Rogers. And when I got there, this was going on. That's Seth Rogers, and that's Chris Proudfoot. And I saw them talk for quite a while before the Vigil started. Now, Chris was not able to stay for the Vigil. He had something that he had to do, which is not my business to disclose.
That's weird, though, that he didn't have time to stick around.
No, it's not weird. I wouldn't stick around either if I knew a group of people who may or may not have had anything to do with the threats against me and my wife. I wouldn't want to stay either.
I think that's weird. I will say that.
I think you're weird.
He didn't have time to be there for the prayer vigil, but he had time to come in and have an exchange of words with Seth. I think that's weird. But like I said, hey, it is what it is. Let's continue.
But Seth obviously did. But then Seth shared what their discussion was about, and I'm going to show you.
Me and Chris are putting our differences aside.
Now, I want. Okay, before we go into this part, okay?
What?
Yeah, Diecat.
What
okay.
drama?
Yeah, he had
what drama queen?
Time to confront Seth. It's weird, right? That's sus. That's sus as hell, okay? That's just my personal opinion. It's sus. You had time to go up to his face. Show face at this prayer vigil. But you can't even stay 5-10 minutes. You got to go. That makes no sense. I'm sorry.
It's his business. It's his business. Honestly, does it look bad that they weren't there? Yes. Is it our business? No. Is there probably a reason they weren't there? Yes. I mean, I'm just saying, if I had hundreds and hundreds of threats against me and my old lady, hold on, my old man, I wouldn't want to sit there either.
It irks my soul. I'm going to be real. I don't care.
You
okay.
irk my
Still
soul.
doesn't make any sense. But at the same time, all right. It is what it is. That's how it went down. Let's continue.
Me and Chris are putting our differences aside. It's not about our egos. It's about finding Sebastian. Me, Chris, and Katie will begin working together. And if everybody else could just fuck off and put your egos aside.
Look at Pat. Hold up. Did you see that? We're going to go back to normal because we want to see. Watch this. Watch Pascal.
We're putting our differences aside. It's not about our egos. It's about finding Sebastian. Me, Chris, and Katie will begin working together. And if everybody else could just fuck off and put your egos aside.
Did you see that? Let's play it again.
And if everybody else could just fuck off and put your egos aside.
Excuse me? You got a problem with him saying, hey, if you don't like it, you can fuck off? Then you, my guy, are the problem.
Oh, that's fine. Personally, Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers is the goal of this channel. If you can't get on that, get the fuck.
So something
Okay.
big happened tonight.
So there's something I really want to say about this video. Can I just say this? Okay, I have nothing but love for Seth. Real talk, okay? Because I know he's the only, so far.
You don't real talk shit. You do not real talk shit. This is all fake talk, drama talk, speculation talk, rumor talk. You don't real talk anything, my guy.
We'll see in the upcoming days, all right? Starting tomorrow, or starting even today, we'll see.
That's
what this alliance
exactly
really does,
right,
okay?
KDB.
This is shocking.
It's because as long as there's not a divide, there's no drama, there's no money coming to these creators. That's exactly right.
And I get it. For everybody else out there, it is shocking information. I know a lot of people are feeling some type of way because a lot of people have been very split. It's been either Team Rogers or Team Proudfoots out here, okay? I get that.
And it shouldn't be no team. There should be no teams.
And the fact that it's like, oh my God, you know, the dark side of the force is working with the light side of the force. What the hell's going on here? There's a lot to break down here.
What?
All right. But I want to talk about his approach and his demeanor, the language that he's saying here and all that. Now, I haven't spoken to Seth yet. Personally, I have not. Hopefully we get some time to have a conversation and I can get a better understanding of what he is saying here. And I can see and I can understand why a lot of people out here in the internet streets are getting kind of turned off about his choice of words and how he's saying it. One thing I will say, I get what he's trying to say. I get that he's saying, hey, we're going to join forces. Anybody has a problem with it, there's the door. If you got a problem.
Okay, so you get what he's saying. So why the attitude when he said, if you can't get with it, fuck off?
Problem with it, don't come to me because I ain't listening, right? You got to understand where he is mentally as well. This man is tired. He's broken down. It is a wrap for him with everything. He just wants to find his son. And I get that.
Yeah.
He's at that place of desperation where he's willing to do whatever it takes to find Sebastian. So if it means...
have you seen this, dates? Just wait. Just wait, because Seth comes on, calls in.
that he has to join, allegedly, the dark side of the force.
Hello,
so
everybody coming in. Make sure you hit that like for you, girl.
That's what he needs to do. So here's my thing. Here's my thing about this. Here's my thing. This is just my opinion, and I'm just catching vibes here, okay? So I can be absolutely wrong. Let me just be completely real with y'all, all right?
Oh, I'm catching vibes here, too. Total drama queen vibes. total envious vibes. Total envious of the fact, well, I guess envious wouldn't be the right word. Hold on. Total disappointed vibes. And that's not any type of vibes you should have about what this man just fucking said. Period.
Here. But didn't he just get done with an argument / conversation with Chris Proudfoot? Could he have been taking that frustration
Hey, Queen
that
Bella.
he just got done with Chris Proudfoot and brought it into this video? I'm not sitting here saying that's how he should have done it or anything of that sort, but I'm just saying this doesn't sound like full verbiage or the vernacular that Seth Rogers uses on a regular basis. Yes, we use the
That's
F-bombs.
right,
Yes, we do all
cotton
that kind of thing.
candy.
But I feel like it's a little bit of Chris Proudfoot energy. Does that make sense? Now, I could be absolutely wrong.
That's what I was saying earlier, Robin, is that the family was working together before social media reared its ugly head in. It's just so disappointing. So disappointing.
I could be absolutely wrong, but it feels like he's taken that energy that he just received from Chris Proudfoot, runs into Justin on TikTok, who is holding his camera, his phone, and then he just blurts it all out. So it's not only him saying it, which would be a lot more like with heart and love and compassion. It gives me Chris Proudfoot vibes. Now, again, I'm not trying to move the goalpost. Okay,
So now Seth is acting like Chris Proudfoot because Seth had a conversation with Chris Proudfoot. Are you fucking kidding me?
trying to sit there and trying to manipulate this in a way to make it seem like, oh, whatever. Okay. But there's a vibe I'm getting here. This seems almost seconds after that conversation, which was very heated, right? That's one part. The other part is too, listen, I'm going to join forces with these people. I got to. I know the internet's going to be upset about that.
Who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck what the internet thinks? You care way fucking more. I'm sorry for all the cussing. I know y'all are used to me cussing, but I'm cussing a little more today because this just irked my soul. But you care more about what the people on the internet are going to say about them uniting together, coming together for Sebastian, than the fact that they are actually putting their bullshit aside and coming together for Sebastian. Make that fucking make sense.
But hey, if you can't handle it, you can't handle it. Can't say anything much about that anymore. We're going to keep it moving.
Fucking pussy, man.
Okay. So I think that there's some things,
seeker.
okay, that were
Reese
said in this that I can see it would turn a lot of people off. I get that part. I do. But I also think that he is also extremely tired. He has been ran through with this case. Okay?
We're never gonna get through this. We're never gonna get through this, y'all. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. He has been ran through by you YouTubers. You YouTubers have done this.
He is at his wit's end, and all he needs, all he is praying for is a miracle. And this might sound weird, but maybe by them teaming up, that may be the miracle he has been wanting all of this time. I know that might be the thing that you don't want to hear. In fact, that's something that I'm side-eyeing the Proudfoots too. That may not be something that I want to hear. But at the same time, if that means that gets him access,
we know
to
you
TBI,
don't want to hear it. Why the fuck would you not want to hear? Fuck the sides. Fuck the drama that you guys have incited. Fuck the wedge that you guys have put between these parents. Why would you not want to hear that they are going to work together?
More information, direct information to TBI from local law enforcement, knowing exactly what's going on. If that's what he has to do so that he can find Sebastian, so be it. Make it so.
No. We are not going to do that. I don't know who did it. If you see that, oh no, Kathleen, no ma'am, we ain't going to do that. We don't know. You're more than welcome to be in here and have your opinion, but we do not know, so we do not state that as factual.
Like I said, ladies and germs, I'm still side-eyeing them like a mug.
I'm side-eyeing you like a mug. I'm not the biggest fan
of hearing about this alliance, but at the same time, sometimes you gotta align with the people that you disagree with to get to the same goal. And the same goal is finding Sebastian. So I know people are upset about this video. I'm telling you right now, please understand. It's 55 days, I think, today. Shoot, it's been so long, even I'm losing count of days. But if I'm correct, it's 55 days of Sebastian nowhere. Zero clues from what we know by the public, okay? That is public information. Zero clues, zero leads to finding Sebastian. Zero. Do you understand that? So put yourself, God forbid you have to put yourself in his shoes. Put yourself in his shoes for 5 seconds. I'll tell you what, you'll be at your wit's end. You'll be losing your mind. You will talk crazy on microphones. You will do everything you can to get your son or your daughter.
I agree, Jenny. Speculation's normal. It's just your responsibility on how you present your speculation. Coming live in front of thousands and speculating and theorizing does nothing but create harm. And these people with these big platforms, these creators with the big platforms, need to be more mindful of that.
Or your loved one back as soon as
we
possible.
all speculate
as soon as possible. Okay.
I've got my own theories, honey. I done thought up another theory this morning.
Real talk. Hold on 1 second, guys. Give me 1 second.
I know it's a lot like Cotton Candies. It's a lot like Steve Gonsalves. He just wouldn't stop talking, man.
All right, guys. Looks like we got Seth calling into the show. All right.
Hey, Sarah Me.
Hopefully we can get some more answers and we can hear what he has to say about all this as well. But like I said, he's calling into the show. We're going to talk about it. All right. So get ready for a conversation. Again, like I said, he's tired. A lot of people that have been very
patient with me,
right?
But before the vigil started, before everybody showed up for the,
a lot of people that have been very, very shocked about this update, right? Now, is it true that there was an exchange of heated words between you and Chris Proudfoot when he showed up? Is that true?
No, he just came up and spoke. He had actually showed up earlier before before everybody showed up for the vigil. He showed up. He swung by. I had to put in my truck popped, putting some windshield wiper fluid in there, and he swung by to see if I was having vehicle problems.
Mm-hmm.
He came by, this complete douchebag, asshole, piece of shit, stepdad of Sebastian Rogers, came by to check on the man that has ran these streets of YouTube, creating shit storms for him and his wife. He came by. Listen. He came by to help you.
So he came over to.
And then he came by.
Yeah.
Then he came by afterwards, right before the vigil started.
Yeah, he said no. There was
right.
no heated exchange. That's not what it was. I fucking hate humans, man.
So he came over to.
And then he came by.
Yeah.
Then he came by afterwards, right before the vigil started, to have a conversation with me.
Right.
And, just wanted to put stuff aside and work together to find Sebastian. And I told him, that's all I want is to find Sebastian.
So he's the one who said, hey, we should align up, we should join forces and try to find Sebastian, correct?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Bet. I mean, that's a beautiful thing. That's great news. That is great news.
That's fine with me. Let's do it.
I see. I see. So then, okay. So then let's talk about this video, okay? Because it's blew up. It is blown up the internet overnight. Okay, I woke up this morning to DMs, et cetera, with this, reacting to this video. Can you explain to me what's up? What happened? What was going on with this video?
Well, first of all, I don't have social media,
right?
And so about the only thing I hear is what other people be telling me.
Mm-hmm.
And besides all the spam stuff that's been coming in with people.
Janine, can you possibly think about maybe trying to put yourself in their position? Would you want to stay if you knew you had hundreds upon thousands of people threatening your life? Would you want to stay? And I know a lot of people say, oh, it's my kid, I'd stay. But would you really, if you were in that situation? You can't really know what you would do unless you're presented that situation. And God forbid anyone be presented that situation.
Say that they have my sons, which that takes a real particular, disgusting piece of garbage to do that.
Right.
Just kind of gets on my nerves. And people think it's a joke. Sit there and say that they have my kids.
Okay. Yeah, the fake
And
kidnapper and all the hoax, all the fake scamming that's been going on revolving around your son. Yeah. Okay.
yeah, that's just
Oh, I
despicable,
know, Deets.
I see.
in my opinion.
Yeah. I get it. And I get why you would say something like that, because it wasn't directed towards the
Now,
people
first
who are
and
out here
foremost,
supporting. Go ahead.
I appreciate everybody that is supporting me.
Mhm.
Anybody who has donated to the Cash App, to the GoFundMe, their time, their effort to go out and pass out flyers in whatever town they're in, whatever state they're in, people that have traveled from other states to here to help pass out flyers. 100%. I appreciate you all 100%. All right. But these people that just don't understand that I want to find my son, and why people are sitting there trying to go, oh, we're Team Seth. Oh, we're Team Chris and Katie. Did you hear Sebastian and Team Seth or Team Chris and Katie?
Right.
There is no.
Good for you. Good for you, Seth. That's about the smartest thing I've heard you say in weeks.
No, there's no Sebastian in Team Seth or Team Chris and Katie. You know?
That's what
it's
I said
disgusting.
earlier, Deets.
They have a
Like, when does Seth have time to go search? He hasn't searched since Easter. When has he had time to go search if he's spending all his spare time on YouTube? He hadn't even went back to work. He's just spending his time on YouTube.
10-year-old child that's missing.
Yeah, absolutely.
My son is missing. Katie's son is missing.
Absolutely. Now,
All right.
but there has been a lot of groundwork over the past 50 some odd days that has been splitting the room for a little while. So what do you say about that? Because yes, you guys are joining forces, but a little bit ago, it was a different tune. You see what I'm saying? So I can understand where people are feeling a little bit like, whoa, what happened here? You see what I'm saying? So what do you have to say about that?
Some people may be feeling whoa.
Right.
I say fuck those people. It don't matter what we think.
There's a song, but I'm not there. I can't remember the song, but I know there's a song. My hip hop days are coming back.
Yeah. It's like, whoa, yeah, I got you.
I gotta go make a cup of coffee. I'm gonna just let this play.
Like he who has never sinned, throw the first rock.
Okay.
Well, I know I'm a sinner. I'm here. I have sinned.
I will say though,
Chris
too.
was big enough man to come and ask me. I'm big enough man to sit there and say, if you're going to help, come help.
Okay.
Okay. How many challenges will God give me before he gives me my son?
Hopefully not many, but you also got to remember that he's here. I mean, God is present. He is there for you.
He is.
And maybe
he's also watching to see how I react. He's
True.
watching to see he's watching to see if I'm going to handle the troubles that he's given me.
I see what you're saying. Listen, I understand where you're coming
He's
from.
done what he's done.
Right.
She has done what she has done. I have done what I have done.
Nobody's perfect. You're right. And you got to.
We're not perfect.
Right.
At the same point in time, we're going to hold another vigil in 2 weeks.
Are they going to be there?
Right now, I'm working.
That's the thing. I think the problem is, Seth, can I just say something really quick?
Hopefully going to be yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I think what the general consensus is how they have been moving around here lately. It's their actions that are speaking way louder than their words. And let's not forget the words that have been said, that have been back and forth, that have been, they've been caught in not telling the full truth. There's been contradictions, so on and so forth. But most importantly, it's been the actions of their actions speaking way louder than their words. So I can see why people are
And this isn't to attack Seth, but he also has been caught in contradictions. He has also been caught in lies, but you refuse to see it because he's the only one still entertaining you. He's the only one still lining your pockets, boo.
I understand that.
Feeling a little bit some type of way about this. Okay.
I understand that. Actions speak louder than words, Pascal.
Absolutely. They
but everybody deserves a chance.
Everyone does deserve a chance. And again, this could very well, I'm going to be real. I'm going to keep it really real. Like I said it right before you called, that this could very well be the miracle that you've been maybe looking for and hoping for. Maybe this alliance will get us closer to finding Sebastian for sure. That's without a shadow of a doubt. You see what I'm saying? So I'm really hoping.
That's what I am hoping for.
That's what I'm hoping for.
I'm hoping that by working together, we can find Sebastian. There was 2 people in that house. Sebastian and Katie.
Yep.
Only those 2 people was there. If they help me try to find Sebastian, then so be it.
Gotcha.
So be it.
I got you, man.
I I want my son back. And of all things, we get judged when we're no longer here. When our time has come, we will be judged.
Why do you think that, Lee? Mm-hmm. That's why I was asking. Sorry, I'm going to be talking weird for a minute. I've got my mouth guard in. I know, generally, Jenny, that's what I was thrown off by. Right. What makes you trust Seth more? That's the question. Yep, he sure did. He sure did. I'd have to go through Dietz's notes, but Dietz on the streets has been taking notes of the inconsistencies on Seth's side. So was Chris, Lee. Seth just admitted that. He just said that there were only two people in that house, Sebastian and Katie. Yeah, their story hasn't changed. It's only expanded because when you first come out, you don't want to give every little detail. Yeah, he told that story on 3 different panels, and it was different on each one. Yeah, that's another thing everybody says. Well, the Proudfoots are, every time they talk about Sebastian, they're talking negative about him. No, they're not. Seth has. I don't know, Kiko. I don't know.
Right. No doubt. No doubt. Listen.
At any point in time in this world, a person can come to the realization that maybe, just maybe, they need to change. You cannot force a person to change. Only a person can change for themselves.
Those are facts. I will say this, though. I mean, at the end of the day,
I pray.
All day. Okay, just to make it today. I say we pray. But I think it's very important that, yes, if it means that you have to set aside your differences and this alliance does what it does, I guess everybody will be watching, right? And hoping and praying.
He may not have wanted to leave. It could have been somebody from online gaming, because they all have admitted that they thought they had it locked down to where Sebastian couldn't access the internet. Well, actually, the Proudfoot said that. Seth admitted to letting him play online gaming, Modern Warfare. Yeah, he claimed he sat there next to him the whole time. Miss me with that shit. Yeah, what about when Sebastian wanted to go to Seth's earlier? Seth told him not yet. Let's try. Let's give it a chance with your mom and Chris again. I don't think Sebastian necessarily wanted to leave. He could have been lured out by anyone. Nina, possibly some online gaming friends. I don't think he was planning on staying gone. That's why he didn't have his shoes on. Anything like that could happen. Anything like that.
That this turns into something that's productive, not only just for yourself, that relieves some of this tension off of you as well. as well, but also helps find Sebastian.
Right. Yet left him alone 12 hours a day while he worked. You trying to tell me you was sitting next to him while he was online gaming while your ass was at work? Miss me with that bullshit.
For sure. But I think at the end of the day, it was really, I think at the end of the day, it is really just how the message was sent out there. And I get what you're saying now. You know, you've clarified
I agree,
a good portion of that. And hopefully the court of public opinion will be okay with it and they'll be able to move on. And we'll, you know, I've moved on. I know where you're coming from. I absolutely understand where you're coming from, for sure. But I know that there's people that feel some type of way.
What Justin waited to show at the very end was what I actually
don't believe it at all.
Mm-hmm.
Which was me telling everybody, I appreciate everybody who showed up. I appreciate everybody who was helping. I really do. I appreciate it 100%. I appreciate all who are helping me. I appreciate all who are going to help me. I appreciate everybody who's working to bring Sebastian back to me.
Yeah.
Because that's the goal. But if you're not going to,
I think if you're going to look at the parents suspiciously, they should all three be looked at suspiciously. I honestly, personally don't think any of the parents had anything to do with it. I think this has just become a circus. Sorry, my mouth guard's all over the place. I got a bad tooth that I'm nurturing because I don't want to get it pulled. Good morning, baby. Good morning. You see good? Yeah. Yeah. But if you're gonna look at two of the parents suspiciously, you can stay in here with me. Then you got to look at all of them suspiciously because all of them have had things that didn't quite make sense or inconsistencies. But Seth came out on here originally wanting to spread awareness, wanting to make sure his son's name stayed out there. And unfortunately, Seth didn't understand what YouTubers do. They take everything and make drama out of it. They put doubt in your minds. That's just how it works. They create mayhem when there's no sense in it.
be on Team Sebastian. Congrats. As my PR person said, I need to stop cussing. Or as she said, stop using such colorful language.
Right. Yeah.
Well, that's really part of me. So, as she has asked me to, people can kick rocks if you're not on Team Sebastian. You're either part of the solution or you're the problem.
I get what you're saying, man. I do. I think that there are
Pascal,
people.
Do you get what he's saying?
There's going to be people that are going to feel some type of way, and they're going to have to, process this and move forward from this point on. I think what is more important.
If I'm not mistaken, his PR person is his new PI that he hired.
Than ever is how the Proudfoots operate from this point on. Because you got to remember, it's been almost 2 months since he's been gone. And the thing is, though, we have not seen one moment of them lifting a finger. So I think that people are feeling upset and surprised.
You and the rest of the YouTubers came into this 3 weeks late. 3 whole weeks. They were already searching for Sebastian when you guys picked up on this case.
Because they haven't done anything out here. You've been doing a lot of the heavy lifting and a lot of the speaking for the most part. And I think a lot of people are feeling like, okay,
I've got a lot of great volunteers,
but I feel like
not to interrupt, but
yeah, but
I've got a lot of great volunteers that have been doing a lot of the heavy lifting.
Absolutely. But you are also spearheading this entire search, etc. Right? It's you.
Yeah, no, we don't want to put down Seth either. That's what I'm saying. There's a fine line because you don't want to be standing up for the Proudfoots and what people are doing to them and then be doing that to Seth as well.
You, not the three of you guys. Now, I'm happy because I've even said this on many times before that there should be a united front. You guys should set your differences aside and join forces and be done with this. But that should have happened. This is what I think I feel like this is what the court of public opinion feels, that this should have happened a long ass time ago. And now suddenly they want to join forces. So I can see some people side-eyeing this movement as some sort of tactic because they realize how bad they are looking out here in these streets. So,
okay, so Pascal's trying to say that the only reason Chris and Katie are wanting to join teams with Seth is because they're the bad guys and Seth is the good guy, and they want Seth's good guy look, I don't know, facade to wear off on them. That is the most ignorant shit I've ever heard.
Oh, we join with the good side. We join with the Rogers, where everyone is standing in solidarity and rooting him on. If we get with him, we'll be under the same positive light now. You see what I'm saying? So I could see where some people are looking at this and going, "Oh, they're going to use Seth. They're using him, man. They're using him, bro."
I agree. Some people are going to look at
That's
that.
what I'm saying.
What I'm looking at is the fact that
Katie. That's what I'm saying. Like, the parents started out on this case working together. YouTubers got involved. They split up. And Seth started running his fucking mouth.
I'm always under scrutiny.
Yeah.
What they need to realize, if they're joining this team, they're going to be under scrutiny as well. It's not going to stop just because they're on. It's going to double down. It's hard work. It's boots on the ground. It's speaking for Sebastian, not speaking down about Sebastian. And if they don't realize that, that's on them.
Right.
I mean, I'm not defending them at all.
Hold on, we're going to.
But I am willing to. And if they don't realize that, that's on the ground. It's going to double down under scrutiny.
Looking at this and going, "Oh, we'll be under the same positive light now." You see what I'm saying? So I could see where some people are looking at this and going, "Oh, they're going to use Seth. They're using him, man. They're using him, bro."
I agree. Some people are going to look at that, but what I'm looking at is the fact that I'm always under scrutiny.
Yeah.
What they need to realize, if they're joining this team, they're going to be under scrutiny as well.
What they need to realize, first off, what they need to realize is that if they join this team, but earlier, Seth said there wasn't teams. Sebastian's name isn't in Seth's team. Sebastian's name isn't in Team Proudfoot. Earlier, he said there is no teams. Now he's saying that the Proudfoots got to understand that if they join Seth's team, they are going to have to accept that they will be under scrutiny too. Bruh, that's all they have dealt with. Scrutiny. You think... am I in the Twilight Zone? Seth has dealt with a minuscule amount of scrutiny compared to Chris and Katie Proudfoot. Minuscule. So why is he telling them they're going to have to get used to dealing with scrutiny? Get the fuck out of here.
It's not going to stop just because they're on. It's going to double down. It's hard work. It's boots on the ground. It's speaking for Sebastian, not speaking down about Sebastian. And if they don't realize that, that's on them.
Right.
I mean, I'm not defending them at all. But I am willing to let somebody come in and show their worth. Period.
Okay. Well, Seth, listen.
And I just want my son found.
I'm hoping, I really do hope that this alliance, this new joining of forces, I pray and I hope that this does nothing but give you exactly what you need to get to Sebastian. Period. Point blank. I just want to say that really quick, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what I think. It doesn't matter what the people out here in these streets think. It's about what you guys do out there in these streets. So I think
that's the truest thing you've said so far, Pascal. Kathy P. No, you haven't heard them talk down about Seth. The only time they have said anything in response to Seth is when Seth brought the SA situation up. Outside of that, they've said nothing. And he said a lot.
Exactly. So I think what's going to happen is we're just going to sit back and we just got to see how the Proudfoots operate with Mr. Seth Rogers. That's what I think. I hope that this works. I hope that this works out, and I hope that this is not an opportunity for them to get back in the good graces of.
I don't believe that at all. I'm sorry. I don't believe Pascal wants it to work. It's my opinion. Come for me if you want. But I don't believe that he wants it to work, because if it works, there's less drama. If there's less drama, there's less content for you.
Of the streets. I'm gonna be real. So I just say, hey,
Let's be honest, Pascal.
Go ahead.
If they're doing it for that, it's going to come back twice, if not 3 times.
Yeah.
Harder. I'm praying that that's not what they're doing, but I'll tell you what.
Me too, Zen.
No doubt, man. I'm with you 100%. This is, at the end of the day, it really is about finding Sebastian all day. But Seth, unfortunately, I got to let you go, man. But I do want to ask you.
Because, no, man. No. Truth, not feelings. No. No. She was 18 when they got together. Now, is it a huge age gap? Yes, it is. Sorry, I got to delete that comment because I don't want the P word in there. Is it a huge age gap for her to be 18 and him to be 30? Yes. Huge age gaps don't really make a difference. What people find a problem with when it comes to Seth being with Katie when she was that young is it's like, what does a 30-year-old have to do with a 19-year-old? Like, what does a 30-year-old have in common with a 19-year-old? Not much at all. Her brain's not even fully developed. It would be different, I think, if it was a 40-year-old with a 29-year-old. You see what I'm saying? It's the fact that she was 19. That's what makes it look so bad, because she has no idea about life. But outside of that, that doesn't make him a pedo. It just doesn't. Is it weird? Maybe. Would you want to do it with, would you want that for your situation? Probably not. Would you want that for your own kid? Probably not. But it doesn't make him a pedo.
So I do want to ask you something. Have you heard any new updates at all? Any leads, anything? Okay.
Thank you,
I've got plans for next week on locations and stuff to hit.
Okay. I do have some friends that have some serious resources. I would love to rap with you about that on, off the record, when we.
If I'm not mistaken, Katie's mom said that they got together when Katie was 19.
Get off the show. I definitely would love to get in touch with you about this, because I got some people that have some a lot of resources and for searching, etc. So we need to talk so I can get you guys connected. So yeah,
you got my number.
I got your number, so I will call you for show.
Okay, so that's over. Why y'all are being reckless in the chat? No, he is one. He had no problem calling his son one. He did not call his son one. What is going on? He did not call his son one. He claimed that that's what Chris Proudfoot called Sebastian. Yeah, Sebastian was born when she was 19. That's what it was. It's very possible, but I mean, like, how are you supposed to know that? How are you supposed to know that if there's no paperwork showing that he was caught doing something he wasn't supposed to be doing with a minor? No, I question the ages too, because all I know is what they've said publicly. Yeah, okay, here Deet says, okay, everyone in the chat, we're going to sort out the age thing and get the factual info. Can we hold off on that convo until we have the full facts? Yeah, because you don't want to be putting things out here and then it not be that. You know what I'm saying? Like, do I find, even if she was 19, I find it kind of weird, because what does a 30-year-old have to do with a 19-year-old? Like, y'all have nothing in common. She can't even think for herself yet. So I'm just saying, I get it, guys. I really do. Where did he say that, Kim? And see, he's done like 20 interviews since I watched his last interview that I watched. I stopped watching his interviews because they were inconsistent. He was talking shit. He was making chaos out of this situation. So I just stopped watching them. Duchess is in the chat. Yeah, we want to vet that, Kim. If you can tell us where he said that, we're not doubting you. We're not doubting you because he is he's very topsy-turvy on this platform. Does that make sense? He's very back and forth, back and forth. Truth not feelings. I'm cool with you being here, but stop saying pedo in my chat. Me even repeating that word is gonna get me demonetized. Cut it. That's the only reason I'm deleting your comments. Stop saying it. Put the P word. Put P word. But stop saying the full-on word. You just said it in that last comment twice. Not only did you say the shortened version of it, but then you spelled out the whole word. I know, so Flo, it's crazy. He did allude to that. He did. But as for the P word, he said that when he was explaining it, he said that Chris called him that. But yes, Seth did allude to it in that way. Yeah, I mean, my email, I've got it scrolling at the bottom, and then Deets has her email on her page. If y'all want to email us where the interviews we need to watch, because again, we have both we got really deep into the Kansas moms case, the 2 missing Kansas moms. So we stopped following Seth around these streets because he was all over the place. I think Jenny said they're at 30 or 40 interviews right now with Seth. So Deets, maybe Gavel Geeks knows. We don't know that. You may know that, Truth Not Feelings, but we don't know that. Where do you see money coming in? Don't do that to me. Where do you see any money coming in on my stream? I don't want my whole channel to be demonetized because you're being an asshole in my chat when we have clearly asked you several times to stop with the P word. That's it. You can put P word, but stop spelling it the fuck out. If you can't do that, then kick rocks, my guy. You're doing too much. Yeah, you're being an asshole. And you've been in my chat before and you have never acted like this. Ever. Bye. See ya. That is fucking crazy. It's YouTube, not me. Lord. Anyways, let's go on to the next one. This is Cluminati. There was something we were talking about in it was either my stream or Deets' stream. And KDB, one of our subscribers, came in and she was talking about how Trev Tom had supposedly had an issue with somebody. But I thought KDB was talking about crime lines and lies because I think that's who we were talking about in the moment. But turns out, okay, so then a couple of days later, so I went to Crime Lines and Lies and I didn't see anything about Trev Time calling in or commenting anything rude. So I was just like, oh, well, maybe she removed the stream, right? So then a couple of days later, Deets is like, are you watching Cluminati? And I was like, who the hell's Cluminati? So then Deets didn't answer quick enough. So, so I went looking and I was like, and then I see KDB in the chat and I'm like, and KDB says, well, I'm glad you finally found your way over here. I said, oh my God, I had no idea this is who you were talking about. Cluminati is my sister from another mister, and she just don't know it yet. We're twinsies. Bye, Truth Not Feelings. All I do is spread fucking awareness for these children and for the parents of these children that go missing, so that YouTubers don't interfere with them, so that maybe they come across one of our streams before they come across the Tragedy Pimp streams. That's what I do here. So don't tell me I'm more worried about protecting my channel. I have to protect my channel if I want to spread that awareness. You see what I'm saying? 1 + 1 = 2. Protect my channel, spread awareness, help a child. 1 + 1 = 2. I know, right? Irish. It is a good channel name. I tagged her in this live because I was going to go over this part. This is where, okay, so we just watched where Seth said that he was going to be working with the Proudfoots. They were going to become a team. They were going to join forces. They were going to be a united front for Sebastian, right? Well, this is where things go completely sideways. This was the next morning. So we're going to let her play. Let me see. Let me put her on. I think we could do 1.5. Let's see.
And said something completely opposite. Let's roll the tape. Like, whew.
And as it did, but here's what happened. That's what I'm hoping for.
She's slowing it down.
I can only hope.
And just to be clear, I didn't go to Hyatt's channel because I didn't want to give him the view. And I wanted to bring people there. I wanted to bring your attention to Cluminati. If you don't know who she is already, now you will. So it's not about using her content. It's more about not giving him a view and introducing you guys to her. But I do appreciate her content.
I still pray that my son's alive. Yeah. And the sooner she unburdens herself, the sooner we can either find him, tranquilate, on a course of action.
Hey, Laura.
I understand that you're trying to work together.
I'm hoping that she'll work together. I'm hoping that both her and Chris will actually start working with me.
Yes, NJ, that is something that's been alluded to. Yes.
So that I can work with them. I mean, that was pretty much the whole discussion last night before the vigil. And I do hope that they actually work with me.
If my child goes missing, my first call is to police. My second call is to Biofather. A great comment. I mean, it's just so common, such a natural reaction. Seth.
Twinsies.
King to listen that was what he said, and he is in need of working with others. So otherwise, I'd be asking a lot of questions. Though I don't think you have many answers, Seth.
I don't. I've had a lot of questions since this has started.
Were you there that night?
Answers.
Were you there that night?
I wasn't.
Who was there that night?
Katie and Sebastian.
And that's.
So, yes, this was after he agreed. This was after Chris Proudfoot approached Seth and asked if they could work together for the common good of finding Sebastian. Seth agreed, and now he's going back on it. From what I understand, I haven't watched this whole interview. I've seen Cluminati talking about it. I trust Cluminati. I've watched a lot of her streams in the past few days. So, and she alluded to him going back on his word of working with Katie and Chris Proudfoot. Also, I want you to pay attention. This is the second time. He just told Pascal, and now he's telling Hyatt. Both of them. He's told both of them that there were only two people there, and that the two people were Sebastian and Katie. To me, in my mind, that means that Seth has gotten some kind of confirmation that Chris was indeed at work.
Where the key lies is in a mother that was there telling the truth. Jason.
Hold on. Hold on. Sorry, let me read my chat. Hold on. I'm holding, Kim. I'm holding. Yes. Yes, NJ. Yeah. Yes. All three parents have said that Sebastian was having personal boundary issues with other children. None have elaborated on what that actually meant. Unfortunately, people run with that in 9 directions. Absolutely, Wendy Blank. That is so true. We could, couldn't we? I'm holding Kim. Yeah, I think that's what made Cluminati think that he's going back on his word, because if he was really wanting Chris and Katie to work with him and become a united front, why would he let this dude just trash Katie? What? Love Shack Sarah, stop it. No, she didn't. What stream was that on, Love Shack Sarah? I'll go watch it. Yes, this confirms he knew Sebastian was home. Yeah. Yeah, just focus on Sebastian. Yes, Seth also said in the beginning that Ellie did a thorough search of that home, but changed the story and said they wasn't doing enough later. Yep. Oh, it's on her community page? Okay, I'll try not to. Let me go ahead and pull it up just in case. I don't want to forget about it. Look, I put my little mouth guard in and it helped with my tooth fizz. I don't see it. Maybe she deleted it. Oh, is it on one of her live streams that she posted on her community page? I'll go through and look after this. Good morning, Steph.
I thought you were him, girl.
As an analyst, think she should be interviewed more without Chris.
And I'm just gonna say I don't watch Peter Hyatt. Okay,
Me
because
either.
I can't.
I don't know who he is.
Literally take like 8-inch fucking spikes and drill them through my ear holes. So, but Seth is on here. I will listen.
Round. Yeah, I certainly agree. There should be I think that if they know anyone that she's.
You gonna sing my jingle for me since you're sitting there doing nothing? Yeah. No, you have to say SWTC. Welcome to the Clue Crew. Go ahead.
SWTC. Welcome to the Clue. Wait.
Hurry.
Welcome to the Clue Crew.
Very good. See, you got a double one. You even got stick toes.
Good job.
Singing for you.
Close to that she would confide in. In terms of criminality, there may not be there. It may not be considered criminal behavior in the sense that there was a fight or something took place without Sebastian to testify. There's probably not going to be any consequences. My hope is just come out and talk. Come out and talk to the investigators. And as Jason said, alone, and come clean with it. She needs to come clean with it. 2 months now. No one I think can argue with Annie P. She'll never talk with Chris in her ear. No, I mean he's obviously concerned about the connection to his other case.
That's such horseshit too. Like I'm trying to tell y'all. Okay, so the reason I knew this was going on yesterday is because I got a call. Okay, from the Proud Feets, and again, I'm just gonna fucking reiterate that girl talks.
She calls them Proud Feets, which makes which makes sense because they're a couple. There's not one, there's 2. So instead of Proudfoots, it's Proud Feets.
when she wants. She says whatever the fuck she wants to say, and he does not control her. He probably has he has less of a chance of controlling her than most of these YouTube creators do. The fucking narrative about these people.
Going on. He's concerned about his reputation, and he's willing to.
Oh, they went to a Harley shop. Ooh. You know, I cannot tell a lie. Okay, I have not one to fucking tell. People on YouTube almost make me feel like a fucking millionaire. Like, I'm not kidding. Oh, his mortgage is $3,500. Whoa, God, who would pay that? Somebody that makes fucking money, bruh. I've already told y'all, my fucking bedroom is literally 1,000 square feet. 800 to be exact, not including the bathroom. Dude, that was the size of my first apartment, okay? And it's a whole other house here, okay? It don't stop at our bedroom. You think we're not in that range of mortgage? That is America, on God.
Yeah.
And
Welcome
oh
to
my God,
America,
they're looking for a bike. They're looking at bikes. What are they doing at the Harley shop? Good God Almighty. Bro, it's called getting the fuck out the house.
I said the same thing. Who was it? Whose stream was it I was watching where they were showing Brittany J and them were analyzing the fuck out of the pictures of them at the Harley shop. Who cares? They're at the Harley shop. Jesus Christ, get a grip, bitches.
You can go in the Harley shop and sit on the bikes. They may be in the market for a new bike. Who the fuck cares?
Yeah, who cares?
That's their prerogative.
Tell them.
Period. Like, just because we don't see Seth shopping around, hey, it ain't our fault you ain't cashed out that GoFundMe, bruh.
I was about to say the same thing. He's got the money to shop around. He just ain't doing it. Thank God.
Jamie, sorry, Clue. Thank you for the super chat. First up, my phone crazy today, but you were right.
Miss Krampus.
He has turned on all the support that had no egos to put aside and just gave the GoFundMe in his Cash App like the song Whoop, there it is. Agreed. And Jamie, thank you again for the super sticker. If Ellie has told them not to look, don't be out looking. It is what it is. And I'm not kidding. That would be the absolute hardest thing to do for a mom. But we also don't know what they were doing at the Harley shop. If you love motorcycles, do you know how hard it is to walk in that place and not put your fat ass on top of one that you think looks good? It's really complicated. It takes a lot of willpower. And hey, motorcycles might be the one thing that makes them both really happy. So that's why they're spending time there, to find some happiness when literally everyone in the entire fucking nation is judging the shit out of them. I'm just saying.
Bye, True Seeker. Thanks for coming, babe.
Who don't believe him with anger and rage. So if you've seen that, you can probably consider what it was like for Sebastian with his difficulties. Living under someone with that type of anger. Are you working now, Seth?
No, I haven't gone back to work. It's really hard to think about anything but my son.
Yeah. It's understood.
But bro, you gotta live. You gotta live. You gotta create your own income. You cannot keep counting on these Cash Apps and the GoFundMes. In my opinion,
you're not cooperating. Exactly. You know, there's a time to come clean, and there's a time to.
Peter Hyatt, you fucking genius brainchild, you. What the fuck have they lied about? For real. What? I get the whole belt thing and all that confusion, blah blah blah. But let me ask you this: negate that and tell me what else they have fucking lied about, because do not make me make a list comparing the two and the lies that I've seen called
Cluminati. We got you. Deets has got the list, girl. Deets has got the list.
Heard, etc. Don't make me do it. But I would like you to answer that, Mr. Hyatt. What in the actual hell have you seen them lie about? And it kills me because people really expect me personally to believe that Seth.
Hold on, though. People only hate Seth because he has. I don't hate him because he has a. I don't hate any of these parents. I just think that he has contributed to causing chaos in his son's case. Love Shack said people only hate Seth because he has a GoFundMe, but he's using that money to hire private investigators. Yes, I've heard that that's what he's doing with it. because the TBI isn't helping him or talking to him. They are not talking to him because he can't keep his fucking mouth shut, Love Shack. I'm sorry. He talks too much. He talks too fucking much. This is literally just like the Steve Gonsalves, the Idaho 4 dad, that just would not shut the fuck up, so they stopped talking to him. Katie and Chris are not doing all these interviews, are not leaking all the information that Seth has leaked. He's already gotten in trouble by the TBI.
Seth Rogers, Chris Proudfoot, Katie Proudfoot, any combination of them or one of them alone can make me feel like they're smarter than TBI, the FBI, and the motherfucking Secret Service. Y'all can kiss my entire fat white ass. I'm not buying that bullshit.
Same.
Talk about what happened. There may be some little detail that they don't. Katie doesn't even recognize if she unburdens.
And this, I don't even know why this guy is on this interview. On God, I don't even know why you came up on the panel. The panel is so you can speak, bruh. You just sit there like a fucking bump on a log.
Herself, I say, oh, we've got to go this direction or that direction, because I think that either at this point, 2 months, it's either he fell trouble in a natural sense of water, ditches, that sort of thing, or he was taken.
I agree.
After being put out of that house.
He did go out. He did go back on his word about
that when someone tells the truth, and I don't have the answer, but that is the key. When someone tells the truth, who was present, that one person, when they tell the truth, sometimes they give out a detail that seems so insignificant, and it proves to be.
Duchess says, code of ethics of LE. Would Seth really be doing this if he understood that? No, but Seth is not. I hate to say it like this, but he's a jailer. He's a jailer. That's okay. I'm proud of him for being a jailer, but he's not investigators. He's not road patrol. None of that.
So that would be something that shows someone's listening and there was trouble.
I'm just saying, y'all see him do
I
that
agree,
right
Brittany.
there? Oh God. Oh God. Watch the Vigil. Watch the Vigil. Go watch the filming of the Vigil. Tell me how many times you guys see him do that. Tell me how many times you see, oh God, my shoulder. Just saying. Tell me how many times in the motherfucking Vigil you see that dude's shoulder hurting.
And I didn't watch the Vigil, so that's interesting. That makes me want to go watch it. I also heard her say on another stream, like, supposedly his test results came back inconclusive, right, for his polygraph because of the meds he was on. And she was saying, like, dude, you dealt all that time with your shoulder pain until you went to the doctor, right? How about you just not take the medicine for one night so that you can wake up the next morning, not have anything in your system, and go and take the test. If you can deal with that shoulder pain all the way up until you went to the doctor, which was what, 2 or 3 weeks, then why can't you deal with it for one night to pass that polygraph? Also, my mind goes to Nancy Grace. Nancy Grace, why are you not putting out his results? It's because you're going to look like a total ass. Did somebody say Nancy Grace?
I'm trying to get rich before I leave up out this bitch. I'm trying to have things, but it's hard.
Anyways, she don't want to put that shit out because she knows it's going to make her look like a total and complete asshole. Because of everything she has done to put Chris and Katie down, and they end up being the ones to pass their polygraph, and your dude had inconclusive results. Psh, miss me with it. Come on, Nancy. Come on, Nancy. Come on with it. Put them results out.
Otherwise, it wouldn't be said.
Fuck
I'm
your
hot
pride.
today. Y'all gonna have to excuse me. I don't come off my chain very often, but that motherfucker broke halfway. watching all this bullshit this morning.
I'm sorry, Steffi.
It's a very good observation.
We're waiting, Nancy.
Again, I think I've said this before.
They don't maybe get ghetto as fuck.
You know, again here, if you get a chance, there's a video on YouTube of one of the most brilliant minds I've ever had the pleasure of
Got that
dealing
right,
with,
Cold
Frank
Case.
Marsh.
Sorry, Peter, your endorsement doesn't mean shit to me.
He was
Not
an
a
instructor at the
thing.
FBI National Academy and military background. And he has a video. It's old. It's called The Power of Questions. And it's
Yeah, we don't want to talk about shit when it's going to make us look like the turd, do we? Like all these YouTubers talking about the polygraph, but then when it comes to the fact that Seth couldn't even deal with shoulder pain long enough to go in there sober as fuck to pass the polygraph. I mean, I'm just saying, it puts things into perspective. It makes you look like an asshole, and you don't want to look like a whole asshole out here. Just saying.
something that it's not just for investigators. It really is for life itself. And I can't recommend it more highly. It's impacted me greatly.
Me either, Brittany.
He had invited me.
That's all he comes on here for. That's all he ever goes to these shows for anymore, is to read the chat, to see how people are responding to the bullshit he puts out on my life. Watch. He is so transparent.
To the FBI National Academy a number of years ago, where I was able to bring my daughter.
I tried to tell him that. I've been trying to tell. Like, I don't know if my YouTube reaches many people, but shit, from day one, I've been telling the Proudfoots and Seth, run. If you can't not let these YouTubers get into your psyche, then you don't need to be on here spreading awareness, because your awareness has turned to drama.
My wife had my daughter Christina, and of abuse. Magical. I do terribly regret giving bold opinions on this. I don't wish to add to your
I don't
opinion
know.
longer. With the world of psychics and whatever wording anyone wants to use, it's fine. There's been some real damage done at times with parents who were vulnerable. I can't imagine being any more vulnerable than not being able to find my son, and being able to hear someone. It was just too much. Too much. That's why we call it predatory.
The best thing that I can say is I don't have social media.
Oh my God, Deeks, he said it again.
I literally logged into YouTube to listen to some cryptid stories so I could lay down and try to sleep for about another hour or two. I saw yours was getting ready to come on, and I listened to all yours. I enjoy that. I enjoy listening to you, whether you bring good information or bad information. Emotionally, I still like to listen to you. You're an expert. I consider you're an expert. You are an expert.
I hope that we get good news. I think each day means it's more difficult to have hope. I pray for all of you, including not just Sebastian and you, but for
I wish I could find where he's talking.
Grace, because
he says
preservation is blind to the public, lies with the mother. In order to find him, you have to know that was there. Tell the truth. Come out and talk to the consider. Time to tell that he had.
I'll have to go through it tomorrow. He said something at some point about the question is if the pedestal that Katie is on will come down or something like that. And I'm like, dude, let me tell you something, America. Look into my eyes, okay? If you want to see what a two-faced and no good sorry sack of shit looks like, look right here on the screen on your right-hand side. Because I'm trying to tell you, this is twice now, dude. Twice, homie. You probably don't like me because I can cut through bullshit like soft fucking butter. You want to know what sorry looks like? It's on the fucking screen. Number one, first fuck up you did. You promised somebody standing face to face with them that you were not going to start a go fucking fund me. Then you hide behind your raggedy ass sister and do it any fucking way. Number two, you come out, tell the whole entire nation that's been behind you to basically fuck off. Because now we're always going to do things my fucking way. Da-da-da-da-da. Me and Chris are going to work together now. Me, Chris, and Katie. But then literally you take your fat ass to sleep for a few hours, get up, and the first thing you got on your mind in the fucking morning time is talking more shit about the fucking mom of your child. You want to know the sorry sack of shit is? It's on the screen. And the fucked up part for you is you can't take your 24 grand to get me for defamation because you're giving the example, bro. I'm over it. Like, I'm over it. You are the literal fucking definition of what is wrong with America. People got no fucking morality anymore. You got no fucking morals, and your word don't mean a fucking ass thing.
Now,
on God,
I wouldn't go. Okay. I wouldn't go personally as far as to say he's a sack of shit. I don't think he's a sack of shit. I think he just enjoys attention. I think he likes to be pitied, and because of him liking to be pitied, he has made a mess of his son's case. So, awesome, Duchess. Grandma, will you drop Duchess's link? She's going to go live tonight and talk about Sebastian's case. We need to keep his face and information out there. Yeah, I mean, she says things that a lot of people wouldn't say. You might think them. But you're not necessarily going to say them. Cluminati don't give a fuck. Yeah, she's met him in person and she's seen him do his fuck shit in person. So she has a right to her own feelings and her own opinions of him. Oh, nice. Cold case, Crystal. Nice. I'll be there. So we're going to stop that there, but it's basically he goes on to another panel the very next morning after making this agreement with Chris and lets this dude just trash Katie. That's not anybody that wants a united front. If you wanted a united front, you'd be like, nah, I ain't here for this. You know? I want to see the Vigil. Vigil for Sebastian. All right, let's see. Oh, it's all the news covering it, though. I would rather see a YouTube's coverage of it because they would show more, you know?
After his dad and his mom.
So I guess this is what Cluminati was talking about because he's not showing any discomfort with his shoulder. But as soon as he gets on a YouTube stream, an interview, he starts, you know, oh, my shoulder. I don't know. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Yeah, his mama sure did start stirring shit. But all of the vigils are news vigils.
Seth and Rogers was last reported seen. Despite tips and search efforts, this week investigators said they have no new leads. Well, tonight,
Decree and declare that Sebastian will come home safe and unharmed.
6 weeks and no sign of Sebastian. But that doesn't mean people are giving up hope. People like Jaden Semmich.
Anybody can be frustrated and anybody can be angry with what's going on and how there's no evidence and no nothing. But it just doesn't stop me from continuing. It doesn't stop me from searching.
He did not know the Rogers family before, but said he felt moved to join the search because it was so close by.
It being my hometown, or home county, rather, it really just hit home for me. I've never gotten involved with the missing persons case before, but with this one, I felt obligated.
He was one of dozens who attended a prayer vigil on Saturday evening to remind the community that the search is not over. We need the unity and we need prayer surrounding this whole situation. I think the tensions are high, people are stressed, people are worried, and this is a time to be still. And really
Now that's Karen. She has been out there boots on the ground the whole time.
these are all cards that people have written here at the vigil, from parents to young children.
Yeah, pain does come and go.
This all comes after a search effort.
So there's no
No
telling.
new evidence. It's always kind of sad, when a search concludes and we don't have a child. So I just thought maybe we needed a little bit more encouraging. Part of Sebastian's family, including his dad and grandparents, joined the vigil, all wearing shirts that read "Sebastian Strong."
And the more vigils and the more news presence and media coverage that we get, the more his face keeps out there. Maybe somebody will see something and they'll say something and we'll get Sebastian.
Police have said.
The city of Hendersonville came together on Saturday ahead of the 6-week mark since 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers went missing. The prayer vigil was held outside the Rudder. Karen Stram helped coordinate last night's event. She says she's been working with Sebastian's biological father throughout this search. She wanted this event to be focused on positivity instead of the divisiveness she's seen online. During the event, attendees wrote notes of support for Sebastian to read once he returns home.
So what we really hope to have come from it is more unity and less tension.
Yes,
I feel like tension is
ma'am.
very high with all the different creators that are sharing things on YouTube and TikTok, and we just really want to focus on what's important, and that is Sebastian.
Yes.
Organizers encourage you to continue to pray for Sebastian's safe return home. Flyers will remain at the Rudder for people to come and pass out until Sebastian is found safe.
There was something else. Let's share this tab. Do y'all see this shit? Crime lines and lies. Keep your friends close. And hashtag Sebastian Rogers, hashtag true crime community. And her fucking thumbnail is Katie in one of her darkest moments during their first interview, where she was just an emotional fucking wreck, next to the picture of Chris and Seth having a discussion. And she's got a fucking thought bubble that says, "Don't fight over me," with a winky face. Fuck you, Brooks. Fuck you for that. That is nasty as fuck. Jesus Christ. What are you thinking? I don't get it. Oh, I hit the wrong button. Sorry, guys.
Super sweet. Keep your ass at home.
I came in at the perfect time, allegedly with Brittany J spending her subs money, $5. I appreciate you so much, and I'm so proud to call you my friend, Brooks. I bet you are a bad actor. Bad actors hang with bad actors. Welcome to the Tragedy Pimp Dumpster Fire. Welcome, one and all.
Allegedly with Brittany J. Thank you for the super sticker. I'm proud to call you a friend too. Let's get to the comments, my friends, and then I will slow chat down more. I thought I had it slowed down, but eek, I apologize. Brooks, good morning to you, Pammy. Senate family. Two private investigators.
I just want to see what she's got to say. Like, what the fuck is anything you're about to say have to do with that thumbnail that you've got up? Like, do you for real think they're fighting over Katie, and you gonna use her most sorrowful moment where you can tell her heart is aching?
Chris is nervous.
We need more fucking empathy in this world.
Chris
sure
is nervous AF now that Seth hired not one, but two private investigators. He wants to be Seth's buddy so he can get all the info on what the PIs are finding out and how much Ellie knows.
Oh, okay. So how much sense does that make? Did y'all hear what she just said? She just said that Chris is nervous about Seth's new PI, and he has decided to want to work with Seth and become this united front for Sebastian, all in the hopes that he will find out the information from the PI and law enforcement. First off, what's wrong with that fucking statement, Brooks, is Seth himself has said that law enforcement ain't telling him shit. So what is there for Chris Proudfoot to gain from talking to Seth? Maybe, okay, I'll give you that. Maybe he can learn things about what the PI finds, but the law enforcement thing, nah, bruh. They're done with Seth. They're not talking to him. They're not keeping him clued in on anything.
Investigators. He wants to be Seth's buddy so he can.
Oh, shit. Thank you, Amethyst Wolf. If you got a membership from Amethyst, make sure you thank her. Thank you, baby. I appreciate that.
Welcome to the Hippie Hut, man. Let's vibe.
Get all the info on what the PIs are finding out and how much LE knows. Well, he can easily find out what LE knows because supposedly they only talk to Katie.
Right.
Or as we call her around here, Ma Proudfeet.
Fix it, Jesus.
I really think that Seth should be really careful because old Mr. Pissed seems a bit sketchy and could potentially be dangerous once the secrets start spilling out. I think it already could be potentially a dangerous game because a lot of secrets have been spilling out.
Not by them. Not by them, by Seth, and it's secrets that we didn't need to fucking know to help find Sebastian. Period.
Hush Pup said, at Crime Lines and Lies, I'm sorry, but I believe Chris and Katie could be getting preferential treatment because of Chris's family.
Oh,
His
my
mother,
God.
Kathy, has a brother who owns second-generation construction in Tennessee. Yes, he does. Kathy is a realtor and office manager there. They build those beautiful homes and plenty of them in the area. Now, whether anyone admits it or not, money equals influence equals power, which is why I'm glad that the FBI is involved, and so is the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation.
Right, and I promise you that that PI is not better than the Secret Service, the TBI, or the FBI. Sorry, not sorry. I'm going to let this play for a second.
So then they can call out the locals and be like, look, you might go to church with them. You might be on the board at the Elks Lodge together, what have you. But we got to get to business. Perry Bradley said they share joint custody, which means if she has a right to know, he has a right to know. And that is a boom right there. So whatever secrets are going on to where Seth isn't allowed to know the conversations that law enforcement is having with Katie, that makes no sense. He has every right to know, especially since he was on camera all night at his work. Love you too, Brandywine. Thank you for your donation to the channel. In our last show, I said Seth has been lied to. And what I meant is when the wording might have been wrong when he came on panel and said he was told it takes 60 days for the FBI to get involved. Well, I've seen many articles saying that TBI is working with the FBI. Thing is, we have 2 cases off the top of our head. There's probably others.
Right. Cooperation means
Trev,
everything.
where you have 2 children, different areas of the state, that disappear without a trace. Very limited updates to the public. I really don't have a problem with that. I really don't have any issue with that.
Okay.
Because the more that they spout out,
right, Katie,
the more convoluted the case gets. I'm going to put the link up for our friend Chloe. Give me a second.
Okay, so the more that they spout out, the harder the case gets. How about the more you guys twist shit, the harder the case gets? How about that? Let's say one can't happen without the other. Y'all wouldn't be able to spin this narrative if it wasn't for Seth running around these platforms, running his fucking mouth.
Oh, I did say I was going to slow down on here. Do you think this newfound friendship is a true allegiance, or is it a keep your friends close and your enemies closer?
Absolutely the second.
Okay, but still, what's that got to do with your thumbnail, Brooks?
From what like the info that I was getting, the beginning of that conversation was a bit aggressive on Chris's part. I mean, and this could all be just, this is all rumors, but I truly believe
rumors. You heard it here, folks. It's all rumors.
that Seth is going to do anything he possibly can to find Sebastian. And if he feels that he has to work with the Proudfoot, he's going to do it. But I believe that there was probably some bullying and threatening going on from Chris. That's just my opinion.
And I'm going to put one of the pictures up because there's no reason to be in his face. If you guys can see the screen, it's also.
I would normally agree with that, but maybe they didn't want the TikToker filming it to hear what they were saying. Is that a possibility? I'm sure it is. Wow. Hello. I cannot stand these one-dimensional brains that can only see things one way.
On the thumbnail, there's no reason to be in his face like that.
Exactly.
And I mean, here's another picture. I mean, just, his stance.
He's just standing there
in his pockets.
He's just fucking standing there.
And this is something that could have been done via phone call. He did not need to show up and make a spectacle.
Well, I think it's extremely.
Seth himself said that Chris was not being aggressive. He has no reason to lie. He's been trashing dude all over the platform. So why would he start lying now?
Extremely upsetting that he would show up at Sebastian's prayer vigil before, talk to the father, and neither he nor Katie were there and attended it, but said that they were busy, and then we all saw where they were later. I can't at all get over that.
Well, get over it, bitch. Nobody really asked for your input, did they? We're gonna leave Brooks because that's just. Let's go watch another one ranting about some random shit.
The mother of Katie Proudfoot, father. Case. I don't know if you guys ever seen this photo before. He's out fishing on the water. That's talk.
Yeah.
That's talk. The after effects, the backlash, the drama, the pointing fingers. Where's Sebastian Wayne Drake?
Moving on.
Vanished and missing since around February 26, 2024. Notice I say he wasn't, in fact, vanished on the 26th, like the mother claims. The mother of Katie Proudfoot, stepfather Christopher Proudfoot, both reported Sebastian missing. Called the Sumner County Sheriffs. Almost said Hawkins County Sheriffs because it reminds me of the Summer Wells case. This has a little bit of Summer Wells in the making, folks. But good afternoon. We are still keeping awareness to Sebastian. We're talking about the latest family drama, the backlash, and things we're talking about in reference to this case. Seth Rogers has a PI. PI has spoken out. I'm going to share some screenshots from Facebook on their Justice Warrior page. And a lot of people are speculating. There was a lot of backlash over this photo here.
Which one, Duchess? Hold on. YouTube. Illuminati. Her last live? Okay. I'll let this play while I look.
Here, we shared this yesterday, the confrontation. And it is interesting. Now, I strongly recommend people check out Justin from TikTok, because he was there and he kind of shared his thoughts on the situation. And even he said, and I have people that were there also told me it got heated between those two. I know that some people were saying, well, they were just having a conversation. No, it was nose to nose, and there was definitely profanity involved with this, and it definitely Chris showed up unexpectedly. And then, as we saw right after this, Chris left and went about his way, didn't attend the vigil. Vigil. Some people are saying it's not a visual.
Vigil.
I have a problem with saying that word. Some words I
Vigil.
have problems saying. But then, Seth comes forward and says, now him, Chris, and Katie, he used Katie's name also, are collectively working together to find Sebastian. Put their
I've got it
differences
right
to the
here.
side. And then also proceeded to say, F off, right? And that like irritated a lot of people. And also some people are acceptance of that and want this, right? There's
Fuck those people.
some people out there that feel like, hey, finally, this should have been done at the beginning stages of this case. This should have been done.
Yes. Hoo. Gang.
From the get-go, where the families as a unified front should be working together. But a lot of damage has been done, folks. A lot of damage has been done. Now, when Seth did that and said that he was working with Chris, the next morning, he's back on YouTube talking. And he went on a podcaster by the name of Peter, right? This guy, Peter Hyatt. And he said some things on Peter Hyatt that were interesting and kind of contradicting the day before when he said he was working with Katie, because he kind of like almost more or less pointed the finger back at Katie. Like she's
kind of like when he said, okay, we'll go by what the TBI says and not do a GoFundMe. He made that agreement and went back on it. He does that often.
Something because she is the last person to be with Sebastian. So it's kind of, to me, it was kind of like wishy-washy. The way I see it is first you say you're going to work together with them, and then you're kind of almost like throwing shade at Katie the next day by saying, she knows the answers. She knows the answers more or less. So it's, to me, it's like a continuous family drama when it comes to this case. And I think we're going to see much more of this. How long this marriage lasts between the unified front, between the Proudfoots and Seth, remains to be seen. I have a lot of questions, though, folks. I have a lot of questions.
But let's not forget that Seth said that the original purpose for Chris stopping by was because Seth was parked in the school parking lot and had the hood up on his truck. So Chris stopped by to see if he needed help.
In reference to this unified front, now that Seth said they're going to work together. Still, we haven't heard out of Chris and Katie how they feel what Seth said. Are they validating what Seth said, or are they agreeing with what Seth said? And we don't know that because we haven't heard from the Proudfoots. The Proudfoots pretty much has been quiet and hush-hush this entire time. They haven't spoken. They spoke on Reels, Katie, a couple days ago, very vague and very short vanilla answers just to put out awareness about Sebastian, but nothing of substance that we were looking for. But Seth says they're working together. What does Chris feel about it? Because if they're working together, then why did Chris get in this truck and leave while this vigil was taking place down the street from the Sebastian Rogers home?
Vigil. 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 Not visual. Not visual. Vigil.
Home where Sebastian was reported missing by Chris and Katie Proudfoot. Now, I want to Justin for TikTok, as we just mentioned him. He also shared something interesting on his he gives updates about the Sebastian Rogers case, and I like his updates. Some things that his takes on this I don't agree with, but I met him in person. He's a generally nice guy, and he cares, and he's giving you up-to-date information on the Sebastian Rogers case, and he's more or less boots on the ground because he's from there. Check him out. There's one thing that he did say, though. He said that in 2 weeks, folks, the Proudfoots plan to attend another vigil for Sebastian. And apparently in 2 weeks from now, don't know the exact date. If someone knows the date, please share. But at the Long Hollow Church, folks, there is going to be a vigil in 2 weeks. Another one. It'd be like the fifth one. I don't know how many you need at this point, but it's good, right? To keep bringing a public awareness to Sebastian, letting people know that they're not going to forget about Sebastian. Because some people were questioning.
Whoa, we're not forgetting about Sebastian. Not at all.
Out there about these little ceremonies.
Right, Duchess? Vigil. Look, here comes Generally Jenny. Vigil. Yeah, it was, right? I can agree with that, with what he said. Kim Holmes says, very profound statement JLR made there. The Proudfeet are very hush-hush. All they're doing is spreading awareness about Sebastian. None of the stuff that we want, right? Jesus Christ. Vigil. Vigil.
That they've been having for him is, how many do you need? Because there has been multiple of them. I say keep it up, bring public awareness, keep talking about it. So then why
are you bitching about it?
What Justin said is the Proudfoots plan to go to this.
There's gonna be another vigil, and the Proudfoots are planning on going to this, from what I understand. I've heard that several times so far. I don't know, Duchess, maybe you know for sure. But we're going to watch a little bit more of this, and then we're going to go to the Vigil that Cluminati played, and then we're going to Bullhorn Betty because she's headed there.
Now, what's your thoughts on that? If the Proudfoots show for the very first time to a first Vigil, then that would kind of show, hey, maybe they are working with Seth in a sense of, hey, they put their differences to the side, and you know they're working together. Other people out there speculate that there could be a plot here. There could be a plot here. A lot of the comments that I've been seeing online in reference to this so-called united front with Seth says with Katie and Chris is kind of the very first thing I see is keep your enemies closer. Keep your enemies. This is a strategic plan by the PI. Seth's PI has a plan.
He must have watched Brooks.
And I see a lot of that. Seth's PI has a plan to bring these people together so one or the other can extract information. Somebody said it's fishy. Yeah, there's a lot of fishing here. I think the whole Sebastian Rogers case is fishy itself. But there's a plan.
Right?
There's a plan with this case. I think that's weird when people say
the wiper fluid.
You know, keep your enemies closer because
the wiper fluid isn't necessarily a car problem, but Seth just said he was refilling his wiper fluid. Jeez.
Proudfoot is clearly seeing what everyone says. Online. They're in the groups. They're in our group lurking under alts. We still can't figure out who they are or what alt they're using. But they're definitely in our group. They definitely tried to be in our group. And members of the Proudfoots have been on our Facebook group. So they see all the pros. So Chris sees with his eyes. He's looking on the internet and seeing and watching every day what everyone is saying and talking about him. It seems like that's kind of what he does. Seth does it too, believe it or not. Anytime somebody talks about Seth, Seth wants to jump on board on people's channels and give impromptu interviews based off seeing someone talk about the case. So they're watching. They're all watching. So when you hear the words, keep your enemies close, right? You keep the enemies close. Well, the enemy is seeing people say that. So therefore, don't you think the enemy, which would be Chris Proudfoot, if people think Chris Proudfoot's the enemy, a lot do. Some don't. But the enemy's seeing people say, keep the enemies close. So the enemy is mindful now that what Seth is doing to say, hey, bring us together could be a plot, a ploy, a wiretap.
Why are they considered enemies? Yeah, no, it's not a car problem. It's a TLC problem. Like, dude just wanted to refill his windshield wiper fluid. That's all.
A way to record conversations, a way to get information. Hey, Chris, it's Seth. Let's go to the local bar, the Irish bar, and get ourselves a beer. Yeah, let's go have a talk, right? Let's go to the bar and have a beer and have a discussion and let's talk. Oh, by the way, tell me what you know, whatever, like that after getting 2 or 3 beers in him. Maybe he slips up. Is this the goal or is there, because I want to know, I personally want to know what the 3 of them can do together. Is that good for the case or detrimental to the case? Because there's some people out there that feel like it's detrimental. There's some people out there.
Why would it be detrimental? Like, I don't get that stance. Why would it be a bad thing? It's what should have been happening from the beginning. And it was happening at the beginning until YouTubers got involved and until Seth couldn't keep his mouth shut. But before that, prior to that, they were all working together and it seemed like everything was fine.
There that feel like it's good. But what can these 3 really do at this point together when they've already kind of threw mud at each other? And let's be honest. Let's be honest about Seth, right? Seth kind of incited the masses on the Proudfoots. He's kind of like part of this whole problem where people were pointing the fingers at the Proudfoots by saying some very, serious.
Well, I'm fucking, you know what? I can give it to you. I will give the credit where it's due. Good for you, JLR, for pointing out that all this chaos started with him running his mouth.
Serious allegations of what the Proudfoots did to Sebastian, and then hearing it out, and gaslighting the Proudfoots to respond, where Chris would actually talk about the belt incident and putting pull-ups on Sebastian, and then it triggered Nina to come out, Nina the ex,
right, Robin,
New Mexico to come forward and share about the experiences of what Chris does beyond the household. Seth saying SA allegations against the Proudfoots. Well, every time Seth would say these things, right, it would incite more people, stir the hornet's nest, drama, family drama, and then people are like Proudfoots. But now you're kind of like hugging Proudfoots, and they expect people to be acceptance of that. People are very, very skeptical of that. People are very, very skeptical of that. There's so much to talk about. I don't even know which angle to go here, but
okay. Bless him. He's all over the place. But yeah, the only mudslinging was from Seth to the Proudfoots.
Here, probably people that have not been in here. Sorry about your food. Sorry, people. I didn't know that. Thank you. I want to see. Remember, I told y'all watch the Vigil and see how many times.
But that's what I was saying, Granny. It can look like something, but there was also a TikToker standing right behind them videoing. God only know. They probably just didn't want the TikToker hearing what they were discussing. They were having a conversation. They probably wanted it kind of quiet. But the facts are that Seth came out and said that it wasn't confrontational at all. Like, he said that Chris pulled over when he seen him out there with the hood of his truck up to see if he needed help. And Seth told him, "Oh no, I'm just refilling my windshield wiper fluid." And that led, since they were right there in front of each other, that led to a conversation. Seth said it wasn't aggressive at all.
He goes like this, like with his, you know what I mean? Just let's count them together.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
That's what I'm saying. He was videoing the whole thing. So where's the part where they were being aggressive and tripping? Where's that part, YouTube or TikToker? What's his name? I don't even know. I don't care. Where's the part? If you were filming the whole fucking thing, bro, why wouldn't you film that part? Why wouldn't you film them being angry with each other? If that's really what happened, you would, because you'll sell your soul for clicks and views, bruh.
There it is.
There's no little I's, there's no little T's, there's no I and T, there's nothing but we.
Justin, that's right.
To petition God, to hear our prayer, hear our cry.
This is the vigil for Sebastian Rogers.
Okay, so Seth said, okay, but see, Duchess, Seth wouldn't know that. You would know that because you talked to the Proudfoots. Okay, so Duchess, so from what Seth understood is Chris rode by, seen him with his hood up, went to check on him, right? Make sure he didn't need no help. Duchess is saying, to be honest, Chris Proudfoot went there specifically to speak with Seth. It just so happens that Seth's hood of his truck was up. And that Seth does not answer phone calls, apparently. So Chris Proudfoot has reached out and tried to have these phone conversations with Seth, and he's not answering. So Chris go to the vigil to have a talk with Seth, sees the hood of his truck up, asks him if everything's okay, if he needs some help, and proceeds to have the conversation with Seth that Seth has been avoiding having. So good on him. Good on Chris.
Oh, to the spirits, to his family. So with every heart towards God, head bow, let us pray. Father God, we thank you, Lord God.
Bruh, read the description on my channel. I cuss like a sailor. It is what it is. I've always been that way. If you don't like it, you can miss me with your shit and leave my channel. Thank you. Have a good day.
Alive, Lord God, and his testimony will be a testimony one day, oh God. Known to have a problem believing, God. Your word says, hallelujah, Lord, to help our unbelief, Lord God. So for those, Lord God, that are having trouble, Lord God, believing that he's.
Ooh, she sounds like. Sorry. Jamie, thank you for the super sticker.
Oh no, that's
and
weird.
I
Isn't
didn't
it,
mean to make
Granny?
you make that nasty face. My bad. But Island High, welcome to the Clue Crew.
Yes, that's Seth.
And we can have unity in something, God, God. Hush up the mouths, oh God, and I hear justice for children. Hush up the mouths, oh Father God, and I hear the Constitution. Hush up the mouths, oh God, and I gossip it on social media, oh God. In the name of Jesus, oh God, and we decree that your word will come forth, oh God. We believe in it.
Tables, everybody's wearing green. I have the green ribbon on. No, neither of the Proudfoots are here.
You know what's too much is you coming into my live stream while I'm trying to bring awareness to Sebastian Rogers and you stressing over my cussing. That's what's too much. Be gone. Thank you. Like I said, read my description to my channel, boo, before you come in here trying to talk.
Yeah,
shit.
there weren't a lot of people. Like I said, these vigils, they keep like going down in the number of people, which is really sad.
It is sad.
But so there was like some confusion with this one. Like they needed to get permission to do it from the school. And I don't know if they could like advertise it very much. You know what I mean? So unless, or like advertise it And then they were like, well, wait, we have to get permission. Sorry, I can turn it down.
I agree, Southern Gal. I agree because Seth has admitted that the TBI, FBI, nobody's telling him any information. And Katie and Chris have said, well, you know, they keep us updated frequently. Well, if you want those updates, you should be making amends with these people. You should be answering those phone calls because they could be calling you to tell you something important. I agree, Ava. I agree.
Yeah. Danny I love this name. Gagnon. That's what I'm going to call you from now on. I hope you're okay with that. Danny Gagnon. Although I do think it's Gagnon. Polly Putnam. Maybe Red Pants. Not that I feel like it would get much better. I'm just saying she was in like sweatpants and shit. She ain't in this group.
Yes, Southern Gal. We're going over that
I don't
next.
think so. Though. What color is her hair?
I don't fucking know.
I know, Duchess. That's the whole thing. Standing united for Sebastian is so important, but who is not considering Sebastian really? Just asking. It's like you're not going to answer the phone to the people that are getting the information from law enforcement. Okay, that makes sense.
Did you see Duchess's comment?
Katie said they did watch the vigil. And no, they were
When,
not out
Stephanie?
shopping for motorcycles.
Today?
Even if they were, do you. Get you a fucking Harley. I support Harley riders all day. Get you a Harley. Katie, you hear me? Chris, buy that lady a Harley, okay?
Get it.
Get her a Harley. Get you a new Harley. Get Harleys for everybody.
You get a Harley. You get a Harley.
Because, I mean, to be fair, that might be what the GoFundMe Seth is trying to raise for is. If Katie likes a motorcycle, man,
Oh my
I'm just
God.
saying.
That's hilarious. Karma at its finest.
That guy
wanna
sounds
see
so
them
much better
talk.
sped up, don't he? Away from the screen, you know that man gets me hot and bothered. Y'all just tell me if he moves his shoulder like it's hurting, okay? I'm gonna look this way. Is he moved it yet? Oh, I think he did there.
Yeah, he just did. I seen it. There he went. Okay. Yeah.
At this time, we have a student, and she has brought a presentation on behalf of the school. Okay, so hi everybody. My name's Autumn Hurst, and I'm a student here at Beach High School. I'm a senior this year, and so I'm FFA. I was an FFA officer on our chapter. And Sebastian was actually, sorry, I'm not used to public speaking. But, so as a freshman at Beach High School, you can take a class called Agri-Science that introduces you to FFA, which is Future Farmers of America. So even though Sebastian Rogers was not involved in the class physically, he actually was able to complete classes online that he actually was physically able to take. So even though he may not have been in the class itself with my advisor, he was able to complete that online in order to earn a certificate, which is called a green hand degree. So I'm here today to actually present that to him, to his dad himself, so he can know how hard the son is working this year. So everybody will lock in. Lock in. Y'all know how to do. Lock in. Lock in. Lock in. Lock in. Lock your arms in. Don't be afraid. Lock in. Lock in with your neighbor. God is love. He sees nothing else.
I don't lock in with anybody. Look. It is a small group. That's sad.
Lord, we love you. Thank you for your great love for us.
Oh, here comes the message. Hold on.
Thank you for all the support. I appreciate everybody's support. Please keep on your thoughts and prayers.
Just need to find him. You know, his mama wants him back. I want him back. His family needs him back. Keep your hands up your eyes open.
I'll share his.
That just broke my heart. I don't doubt for a single fucking second that Seth wants his baby back. Not a single fucking second.
His poster, you can pull his poster off anywhere. You can pull his poster off pretty much anywhere. Share it on your social media. But I will have an update for you guys a little later.
That's so sad. He got a little emotional when he was saying that, and it's just, man. I think, and you know, I also give a little grace because parents don't always know how to handle these situations. And unfortunately, he handled it wrong by going to this platform and going on all the channels he's went on. So I just hope, since I sincerely hope he just, like, if he's going to go on any more interviews, that he sticks to Sebastian, and like he did at the beginning, because at the beginning they would try to throw stones in the way and try to throw ideas out and doubt about the Proudfoots to Seth, and he would just ignore it. But then eventually he started taking it on. I think she said that he's not in FFA, but he participated, if I'm not mistaken. All right, here we go. So this is when she first started off on the road.
Finally on the road. I haven't had a chance to look into any additional information. I look like a hot mess because I'm not wearing any makeup whatsoever, and I'm exhausted. Under the car's still not, it's still wonky. Around town, you don't see it, you don't notice it, but on the interstate, I can notice it. It's still not, my car's still not right.
Okay, so she's on the interstate and she can tell already that her car is still not fixed right.
So it's gonna go back into the freaking shop. But that's okay. We'll get Black Beauty up and running soon enough. So we're just gonna have a chat. This is already here, and then he's on a live, and somebody will ask him a question, and he'll almost break down. He'll grab himself real quick and compose himself, but he almost broke down. And I'm just like, you know, we don't see that. We never ever see that from Katie or Chris. We just don't. So
they haven't been doing any interviews. Their first interview was so emotional. That is bullshit, Betty. They haven't been doing interviews. They stopped doing interviews because they seen what was coming, what the YouTubers were about to do, what the TikTokers were about to do.
So it just, I don't know. It upsets me and it unnerves me. Right, coming in, but I don't watch the news very much. Very rarely do I watch the weather. Like, the battery was low, so I don't know if the battery was just really first and second year cost us the most. Last year I really didn't travel much because of all the situation. It's going to be a situation that they're going to have to deal with at that time. But as far as this thing going away, and already saying that it's frivolous, it's kind of funny because if it was frivolous, I don't think a judge would need to. This is not the first time we know
They're talking. She's talking about the lawsuit with Queen right there.
aliens come to my house. You know, aliens came to Dolly's house. You guys all heard miles a year. Averaging, which it really was more like our first and second year cost us the most. Last year I really didn't travel much because of all the situation, people following me and stuff like that. You know, and people were trying to say that they weren't following me. That's a lie. You guys know damn well somebody came.
Okay, let me slow it down for you, babe. Let me know if this is better, Southern Gal.
To one of my searches, you know damn well that somebody working for them came to my court hearing and reported back. This is not the first time. You know, aliens come to my house. You know, aliens came to Dolly's house. You guys have all heard and seen all those text messages. This idea that I'm lying about this stuff is bullcrap, because we have, you know, person I'm suing herself on her live, acknowledging that she was complicit in it. So this idea that I was and these things didn't happen to me are not true. And so I didn't really travel all of 2023 because I didn't feel like being followed, and that's pretty sad. And you know, quite frankly, it's highly illegal, and that's what we're dealing with right now.
She's saying, okay, so she used the opportunity to bring up that she wasn't traveling much this past year because of the lawsuit. And that gave her an opportunity to discuss it.
So I know people are trying to say they didn't do it. They don't have anything. This is a digital world. And I can guarantee every bit of this was handled through the internet in some way, shape, or form. It's going to be discoverable. And that's going to be a situation that they're going to have to deal with at that time. But
so she's talking about how when they do discovery, if they do discovery, I don't know how court proceedings work, and I don't pretend to know. But she's saying that if they, I guess with discovery, they will be able to see all the shenanigans.
as far as this thing going away, I know everybody's saying that it's frivolous. It's kind of funny because if it was frivolous, I don't think the judge would need 60 days to look over the case. They're going on procedure. Did I meet all of my elements? Not the fact that we don't have a case. And as a matter of fact, can't wait for that transcript to be dropped, which we know if they don't.
I can't wait for that transcript either because I want to know who's lying. Who is lying? Somebody is lying, one or the other. And I cannot wait for that mother clucking transcript. Listen, this ain't got shit to do. Let's go.
But those are my claims, and those are what I plan on.
Oh, she's still talking about it.
We'll see what all transpires with that. But as far as me in this court hearing, I've never talked really about the court hearing except to clarify some things because people like to lie, and I'm allowed to clarify those things. You've got somebody that has literally no legal experience or education trying to explain legal documents to her audience, her echo.
Okay, but Betty, you don't. Betty, if you knew as much as you say you know about legal documents and documentation and so forth and so on, you would have been ready from the get-go, girl. Unless you was just putting shit off to make it last longer. That's possible.
Chamber of 6,500 people at best. And I hate to tell you, at first the bubble, they're wrong. They're wrong. So we'll just keep moving through this, but I promise you this case is not going away. Even if the judge, I don't think with all the information that the judge is going to read, is he going to dismiss this case. I just really don't think in his heart of hearts, with the overwhelming evidence that supporting documentation, I should say, supporting documentation I provided, I don't see where he's going to dismiss this case with prejudice. I think if my complaint is so far where he can't give me one cause of action, he'll give me enough time to redo my.
I don't know, Stacey. What is that?
So tight that they can't wiggle out of it, and then we'll have a case. Then we'll have a case, right? So it's all about making sure that people understand what truly happened, and hopefully by the end of this, maybe because I really don't believe. I mean, only a certain select few people knew exactly what was going on behind the scenes while she was smiling to her masses and acting like she wasn't doing it, and so they were supporting these creators.
I cannot tell. Look, I paused it on the perfect spot. I cannot tell what that is. Betty, what is that? I want to know what that is. Damn you, Stacey.
Because they didn't believe that they were part of this behind the scenes shenanigans. And
is it?
Their audience still doesn't believe it. So
surely it's not. No, that's not a fly trap, is it? No, I don't think. It kind of looks like a flashlight. It kind of looks like this part's the flashlight, right? And then right here, this string part is the handle. What? Why would she have a flashlight hanging up?
I'm going to prove it. Is to prove it. Is to go to court and show people what they were doing to me. Because I really, truly don't believe people know. And if you read that complaint is truthful. That amended complaint, if you go through it and read.
I mean, let me just clarify this again. I am not mentioned. I'm not on those streams that Betty complained about. None of that. I'm sorry. I'm being petty.
And
I
if
need
that
to mention
does not
that.
disturb every single person that goes on social media, I don't know what to say to you.
I don't
those
know.
Those are my
the lanyard? I don't think so.
Claims, and those are what I plan on proving in a court of law. Now, whether I'm
Miss Robin, ask Betty what that is swinging in her window for me. I want to know.
Whether I prevail or get compensation for that is up to a judge and a jury. That's where we'll be. But
it ain't no
tampon. I think we established it's not frivolous for our own attorney's admission in court. And then, you know, it will go forward. This is going to go forward one way or another.
She said, even if the judge dismisses it, she's going to file again.
She knows it. Her attorney knows it. I know it. The judge knows it. It's just working and figuring out how the best path forward is. And that's where we're at. So we'll see. We'll see. As far as letting my audience down softly. Anyways, I only need one plate. And I've established that from out the gate. We need one to make a lawsuit. So this I'm letting my audience down easy. You guys have been with me for this ride the entire time. I love how she puts things in people's mouths. It's really interesting about that. But there we are. And I'm happy to be out and away from all that drama, at least for a week.
She's suing Queen Bee, babe.
Looking and taking my energy and resources and putting towards something good instead of something hateful and mean. So we're going to go out here and get the woods. We're going to go get dirty.
It really is, Zen.
We're going to go be some real females, okay? We're going to be what real women should be known for. It should be for us being able to squawk as loud as we can and complain and try to be mean to other women. It's about empowering women, and it's about doing the right thing because it's the right thing to do. It's easy to sit. I could probably build my entire channel on hate. Would it make me feel good?
I know.
Of course not. Of course not. Trust me, I've got enough hate in my life
On the
right
next
now,
live, she breaks
to
down.
wrap around the earth and back, and I don't want to deal with it. I really don't. So here we are on the road again. Jen was singing that to me this morning because I was on our way back from Illinois. I was like, on the road again. Just can't wait to get on the road again. I love talking about true crimes with my friends. I can't wait to get on the road again. Who gets entertained like this on a Monday morning right before you go to work? Right? Come on.
Oh, Jesus
Throw some
Christ.
thumbs up. Somebody throw some thumbs up. AM, about 3:11, when we start seeing all the questions that I truly have about this particular event. I get out in the woods when I need to get out in the woods. It's I don't really have scheduling because I try to keep a schedule.
Well, like, does she think she's going to search somewhere that nobody has already searched? Like, has she seen the TBI's map? I wonder.
And it's so hard to keep a schedule doing this because you never know where you're going to be. You never know what story's going to take a little more research. It's hard to get
All right, we're going to
everything,
go to
and
our
of course
other
we've got an
live,
amazing team.
one where she broke down on. Let's go to that one.
We just toned it down. Everything. I'm not sure. I turned all my Bluetooth stuff off. So hopefully this resolves any microphone
Oh, hold
or
on.
any.
This is a different. Hold on. This one.
Oh, we have a share your screen option now. Look at that. What? Say what?
Hold on. Was it
No
on this one or
way.
the other one? Hold up. Let's
Woods
go
when I need to get out
forward on
woods.
this one.
It's oh, well, it's nice. The 27th when she disappeared, it was truly the 26th. Excuse me. My very first stop is always the same stop on this road. I look straight down and I see a 20 or 30 foot fall, and she's just purchasing to help find Sebastian while they're squandering it away for a joyride at the expense of their son. They make me sick. Like there's no, like you can't get this sick meat off me. Like, I don't point my finger at anybody without a good reason to. Him because I gave him an opportunity to tell me who else I can look at. He can't tell me. He's only report what law enforcement tells them. Perfection. And I love but the difference is, what's the difference between a successful person and somebody else? Teach somebody else how to do that. And that's
She
what I
is
do.
not
All right,
broke
guys,
down.
rock it out. Your coffee beans out. I'm going to say deuces for a while.
What is going on?
Hey! Too clean there. Maybe it might be the way everything's coming in. There we go. There we go. Hey guys, nice to see you. I didn't share. Can I share this? Oh, look, I can share. Let's go share. See if I can share on Twitter. Eagle has landed. The eagle has landed. The eagle has landed. Oh my gosh, guys. What a day. So, as you see, it's only 11 o'clock, not even noon. I'm sitting in a hotel room. That is correct. That is correct. Those beautiful 6 weeks and $1,800 of automobile repairs, and my car has never left me stranded. Not one time, but after $1,800 worth of repair, it decides to leave me stranded. So my girl's a little sick, and I had this fabulous person pick me up. I had to call into Progressive. I called the 1-800 number for, listen to this, I called my mechanic, and I'm like, look, dude, Like, oh, what the F? You know, I'm stuck on the side of the road. I just want to remind you, I've never been stuck anywhere with my girl before, let alone not something I entertain after spending almost $1,800. Well, if you can get it back here. Okay, that's it. That's, yeah, if I can get it back there. Well, you know, I'm not sure that's going to be quite possible. Where are you? About 4 hours away from home. 4 hours. Trust me, I'm laughing. Right? I can make light of it now. I can promise.
I feel like God knew what was happening. Oops, I hit something. God knew that she was finna go out there and cause even more chaos. I feel it in my heart and soul. I feel it in my bones. God knew what he was doing.
I promise you, it's not that comical. I can promise you guys, it's not that comical.
Was there any coffee left?
So, long story short, it appears that it may not even have been the catalytic converter that was on the car to begin with. So that's just another level of anger on top of anger. It sounds like it might have been a pump issue. So it sounds like I might have to have a fuel pump. Love that shit. Love that shit. So either way, it's at a mechanic. He's very, very busy, but he was grateful enough. The tow truck driver has a mechanic shop. Who knew, right? Who knew? So thankful about that. He'll be doing whatever he does and getting me back on the road. So hopefully I'll be on the road tomorrow. You know, we had options. Like my mom's saying, you know, I'll come get you. You know, what can we do? Do you want to rent a car? And all these other things. And I'm thinking, no, you guys know me. I love my girl. I want my girl. I don't do trips without my girl. Very, very seldom. You know, the only time I ever don't.
It might be time to retire, old girl. Old girl and you. No? You don't think so?
Don't have my girl with me is when I have to fly somewhere. My girl is my whoopee cushion. Okay. If I
you probably would have been better off flying, honestly. Because then, I mean, I wouldn't take my car straight out of the shop and hit the road with it. That's kind of sketchy.
know I have my girl. I know everything's okay. You want to know how I know that? Because talk to anybody that has worked with me. They will tell you my car has everything. Okay. It's got oil. It's got screwdrivers. It's got staple guns. It's got everything short of power tools in there. Okay. No matter where I go or what I do, you know, all I got to do is go pull here and pull there. And I got something to work with. Okay. My girl is my life. Okay. Everything is in that car. Everything. And it's going to make me cry if I have to clean that. I need to clean the car.
Stop.
Because the car has to be cleaned. The car has not been cleaned.
She had car issues when she went to go look for Summer too. God works in mysterious ways, baby.
Since September 17th, 2022. Mom, when did you clean my car last?
Oh my God.
My mom's in chat right now. She can answer for herself. I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop.
Oh my God.
When was the last time my room was clean? I don't know. Mom, when was the last time you cleaned my room? I need to stop. I'm just joking. My mother does not live with me. Okay. She lives some 20, 30 minutes away from me.
Show me the money.
So as always, you know, everybody never sees this because in all fairness, the issues that we come across with auto or otherwise, we typically deal with offline.
Yes. Today, anywhere between the 21st and the 26th, you'll get paid. Usually it's the 21st though.
People don't get to see what we truly go through on just about every single one of our trips. Many people don't realize on just about every single one of our trips, there is something that majorly happens. It never fails. I already anticipate it before I even get out there. So
is this the real Laura? Will the real perplexed Laura please stand up? Please stand up. Please stand up. Steph, is that the real Laura?
Whenever you see me kind of slugging, it's usually because I know something's about to happen.
Okay,
thank you,
Nanya.
I have to deal with it. Oh, you guys are about to get hit with that. Hold on, let me skip that.
She's elderly.
Why are you guys getting hit with that so right now? You guys should not be getting hit. I just had a little thing. This is the first time I've been live on this computer. I usually go live from my phone, and it never tells me when you guys have ads going on. Well, hello, guys. It's nice to see you.
She's kind of manic
having
today, isn't she?
A great time here at camp. What's going on here? We're like creeped out, you know? And I feel like that now. Like I'm waiting for that, like everything just to stop. I was watching this movie last night before I don't watch TV. I usually turn TV on just to have some noise, right? So I very rarely actually pay attention to what's ever on my TV. Like right now, I've got a TV on, and it's not like I got it muted. I just need something moving, and then when I turn this off, I'll just turn it up just long enough just to have a little sound so I can concentrate. I know you got to have some sound. Too silent is not conducive.
Stop
for
it.
It's not good. So I can't have too silent. Too silent's too silent. So, anyways, I forgot. I went on a tangent and forgot where I was. Can somebody help me out here?
I don't know, Nunya. I said it in her voice. It's me. Like she always. Betty said, can someone help me out here?
I'm a little stressed out.
Girl.
I'm a little stressed out over here. Crowdfund boots on the ground. Yeah, I'm probably gonna need this trip. Shit. Excuse my language. But so far, I got everything's worked out so far with all the crazy. Oh yeah, that's what I was going to tell you. That's where I was. I knew it would come back. You know, I'm a little chug right along with my car. Right?
I don't think we are.
Olivia did that, so we thought that was cosmic, and then now
we were on 1.25. Maybe that's why she seemed manic because I had her sped up.
It was all on, but there was no power in the pedal, and I'm
hey,
like,
be real.
This isn't good. And so I noticed that the car was starting to,
No, somebody asked me the other night.
Accelerator, whatever it's called.
Somebody asked me the other night if I had to be stuck in a room, would I rather be stuck with JLR and Betty? And I definitely chose JLR.
Decelerate? Is that what it's called? I don't know. My phonics is wrong. Okay, it's broken. And so I'm like, okay, this is not good. So I'm seeing all these semis.
Manic.
So I just had to pop right through those semis, right? It could have been a bad day for Bullhorn Betty. I know some people would have wished that, right? But
I wouldn't wish. Listen, I wouldn't wish that on you, but I mean, I feel like God knew what He was doing when your car broke down. That's all I'm gonna say.
Road. And the first call wasn't to roadside service. I'm sure you guys know exactly who.
Have
the
a
first
good nap,
call
Grandma.
was to, right? I just want to let you know after those almost $1,800 repairs, I've never been stranded before. I just want to let you know that I'm stranded on the side of the road, and just wanted to let you know.
Same, Wanderer.
Have a great day.
I stopped covering Bullhorn because I would find myself in a negative headspace after I watched her for so long, and I would clip her, right? So I would have to watch her double, triple, quadruple times to get a video put together. So I finally stopped fucking clipping her because it was just like, you put me in a negative headspace, shawty. I ain't trying to go there.
What? I think at this point, stress, I don't even know what stress is, to be honest with you. At this point, I guess you got to have no stress to understand what's.
No, Nunya, for real? For real? You'd rather hang out with Betty than JLR in a room? Yes, Okie, it did. I don't know. I feel like I could deal with JLR more because I'd ask him about his prison stint and shit. Like I would try to dive into the brain of JLR. Like, what made you do all those lawsuits you did? But I would have to, I'd have to constantly remind them to blink.
Stress really
That's
is.
true.
And I just think I've just been completely and utterly stressed for so long. I don't even know what not having stress is anymore. So there is that. Always call mommy first. I didn't call mommy first. Mommy was my second call. And it's because I wanted to get some frustration out before I called her. And I still, mom's on the phone. Well, let's go through this. Mom, I've got it figured out. I know exactly what I want to do. At this moment, I just want to vent. Can I just vent, please? Absolutely, honey. Let me know your problems. I don't think my mom should have asked me, let me know your problem. Here, let me start from the beginning, Mom. I'll stick with you. I'll stay right here until the tow truck. God love mamas, okay? For all you mamas out there, I know Mother's Day is coming up. I just want to tell you, mothers, you guys bless somebody somewhere. Usually it's an ungrateful child, right? So I'm ungrateful child one here on the Bullhorn Betty show that's proudly raising my hand that says that my mommy was there for me at 44 years old and she got me through my problem.
My mama still gets me through my problems. I
Happy
ain't even
Mother's
been
Day.
alive.
I hear before. And there's some force trying to keep you. I'm a determined Betty, man. I am a freaking determined. Hold on, let me look at the hair. Look at the hair. Hold on.
Oh,
I'm a determined Betty. I am going to Tennessee.
I'm sorry. That was that was funny. Oh, that was funny.
But it seems like
She
everything
is off the
6
chain
solid
today,
weeks,
isn't
all I've been
she?
trying to do is get there, and it's like one obstacle and hurdle after another. I just looked at the guy. You know, he's like, well, you know, and he told me this whole thing about the catalytic converter and stuff like that, and people are you know, finding reasons to take them off cars so they can sell cars. I don't know anything about that. I hope that's not the situation. I'm going to find out what the hell the situation.
So the tow truck guy was telling her about people stealing catalytic converters.
Situation is, and I was like telling them, I'm like, you know what, this might be an unanswered prayer, because you know there's something that just didn't feel right with the whole repair. I mean, 6 weeks without my car, and then it being so damn expensive.
Hold
It's
me,
like,
I'm scared.
I don't know. I think, you know, would I have gone anywhere else?
She's
when
off
I
the
got
chain today,
home? No, I
Granny.
wouldn't. I would have went right back to his shop. I would have went right back to his shop and had the repair. And now that somebody else is looking at it, maybe they can just tell me what's wrong with it. You know, even my mods, I think they can tell right away if the part was. So I don't even know what's going on. So let's have a chat. You know, I've been on the road for one straight drive. You know, stop and use brakes and mountains of New Hampshire is.
Oh my God, she's talking about.
Some of the price views off those mountains.
Oh, now her stream's messing up. This is why she made a new stream.
And it makes me stuff off. So hopefully this reason. I'm not muted now, am I? Okay, you can hear me. Okay. Oh well. People have to come back. We're going to be getting on to Sebastian Rogers anyways here in just a little bit. I was just kind of laughing and getting some of yeah, I've had to fix that, and then we're back here. So we just walked out. He just walked out the door. You know, he mostly, you know, I think everybody that looks into autistic children, there is a large group of them that like to run away from home for whatever reason. Something attracts them, or it interests them, or perks their curiosity. They get sidetracked or whatever. They,
to be honest, I don't really care to hear what she feels about Sebastian Rogers. I pretty much know what she feels about the Sebastian Rogers case, which is that Chris and Katie Proudfoot are guilty, and she plans on going out there and screaming her little lungs off. Where is the baby? Where is Sebastian? That's what she's planning on doing. So, and she might search some woods or something. But yeah, no, we good. We ain't gonna listen to all that. All right, guys, that's it for us today. I thank y'all for being here. I love you. I appreciate you. Make sure if you have it, you hit that like or the dislike on your way out. Engagement is chef's kiss. I appreciate y'all, and I will catch y'all on the flip side. Have a great Monday. Bye.
We are swimmers.